Okay, yeah. Oh, hello there. I didn't see you. Welcome to Dollar Beer Night, episode number 4, Aladdin v. Aladdin, Dawn of Genie. I'll be your host this evening. I'm Zach Rotello. Let's get into this. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dollar Beer Night, episode number 4, the show where anything could happen and probably will. My name is Zach Rotello, at Zach Rotello on Twitter and all the social medias around the world. And that's right, you heard it from the title. This is episode 4, Aladdin v. Aladdin, Dawn of Genie. This isn't outdated at all. You can follow us at Dollar Beer Pod on Twitter. You can go to Instagram and follow us at Dollar Beer Night, or you can email the show at dollarbeernightshow@gmail.com. Please head to dollarbeernight.com to find the stream of all of our content, all of our episodes. Give us some likes, give us some reviews. We'd really appreciate your feedback. Email us questions, comments, concerns, literally anything you want. We are here to talk and conversate with you. This is a conversational podcast, first and foremost, where we're going to talk about a topic, and this week it's my turn to bring it to the table, and I think it's about time that I introduce the fine gentleman sitting around me. So to my immediate left, I've got Kevin Carter.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right, I'm good.
Yeah, we switched up positions, so now whenever I want to look at you, I have to slightly cock my head to the left. Is that okay?
That's fine. You got to switch it up, keep it spicy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and we're sitting here in the brand new Diesel Dome, absolutely.
New and improved, I'd say.
New and improved, which brings me to the man to my immediate right, which is Dylan Hayden. How are you doing?
Yeah. What's up? My name's Dill.
Yeah, Dill Pickle.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
I
found my new spot.
Dylan constructed the new Diesel Dome.
Yeah, I bought a new table. I was on Facebook Marketplace, and the two purchases I made, you're sitting in one, I'm sitting in the other, and we're sitting at the new table, and I think it looks all right. What do you guys think?
I like it.
Solid,
I love it, dude.
solid 9.5 out of 10.
It was not what I expected from Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah,
I didn't think
absolutely.
I was going to find this nice of stuff for as cheap as we got it.
No, and it's a great looking setup. And maybe one of these days on twitch.tv/Dollar Beer Night, you guys will be able to check out the show. And speaking about Twitch streamers, verified streamers on Twitch, we got got Tommy over there.
Yo.
Tommy Becerra.
What up?
Not much. What's up with you?
Nothing much, just sipping on this. I carried watermelons from Rivertown. Shout out to Monroe.
Yeah, we went to Rivertown for dinner tonight.
It was good.
Got some hot pickles and some cornbread, and
Yeah, speaking of dill pickles.
Hey.
we also bought Kevin. Tommy bought Kevin rather, treated him to a 12% Death beer, which is it's literally called Death.
It's literally called Death. It's fucking delicious.
Yeah, list those ingredients.
It's a Imperial Russian stout with ghost pepper in it, and it's so fucking good. I love any beer that has any sort of spice to it. And this is one of my favorites, if not my favorite, spicy brew.
Spice makes a lot of drinks better.
It does. It really does.
Like spice, I can't drink a regular margarita now. Too sweet.
Yeah, no.
Add a little muddled jalapeno.
Anytime I order a margarita, it's extra. Not a margarita, a Bloody Mary.
Oh, yeah,
it's extra spicy.
Oh, yeah. Extra spicy for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
dude.
Put a spicy wing in there as the garnish. I don't want to fucking sell your stuff.
A chicken wing.
Yeah,
Chicken
fucking spicy chicken.
You put a chicken
Have
wing
you seen
inside
that?
your...
No, I
No,
said
I
do it.
haven't. No.
I haven't had it, but I said do it.
Oh, I didn't even know this was an option.
Yeah, no, I'm making it one.
Okay.
I just did.
Is it
Getting
called?
getting
It's
real
called the.
bold.
It's called the Tim Tom or whatever. What
It's
do you want
called the Tim Tom Bloody Mary.
average
with the chicken wing.
average Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Well, the first order of big business here we got to talk about is earlier this week on social media, the Queen City Podcast. Shout out to Queen City Podcast. They did a finale episode of sorts for the run with the original host Dylan, who's sitting here with us, and Jeremy Schneider. And it went well. I haven't personally listened to it, but Tommy and Kevin have both checked it out.
I thought it was a really good
Yeah,
episode.
Yeah, it was great.
It was a good send-off for Jeremy. We tried to add some sentimentality to it.
Yeah.
Sentimentality. And we also wanted to do business as usual. There were some things we wanted to talk about. And it was kind of just it was a perfect show to send Jeremy off with.
For sure.
And you could tell in the last couple minutes it was hard to say goodbye, but it is what it is.
He'll be back.
Jeremy will be back. He wants to come on Dollar Beer Night.
Oh,
He
we'll
does.
absolutely
He really
have Dollar
does.
Beer Night, Jeremy.
He's
for sure.
more excited about Dollar Beer Night than he ever was about Queen City Podcast.
But to celebrate the end of that era, on the Dollar Beer Night channel, we put up a Instagram story where we said, what should we name? What in the Diesel Dome deserves to be commemorated as the official piece of Jeremy Schneider memorabilia? So it's like, Paul Brown Stadium, you named it after the guy. You know, you got Great American, you named it after the country. So,
or the bank.
or the bank. So what we have to come to the decision. Jeremy himself said that he would request that we name the fridge after him.
Yeah,
the beer
like
fridge
it.
we got.
Love it.
That's fair enough.
Love it.
So what's the name?
Well, Zach, you and I spitballed this already a little bit.
We thought about making it something overly long and complex just for the fun of it.
Right. So what we came up with was something along the lines of the Jeremy Schneider Memorial Miniature Refrigeration Unit.
The Jeremy Schneider Memorial Miniature Beverage Cooling
Device.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
I couldn't think of a better one.
We'll throw it out to you guys as well. But yeah, we wanted it to be ridiculous, just like Jeremy. So
Yeah. I couldn't think of a better one for Jeremy. Just a off the wall. That would be some shit he would come up
yeah,
with. too.
right, exactly.
So the Jeremy Schneider commemorative, right? Or memorial?
Memorial. Well,
It's
let's call it commemorative because he's not dead.
Yeah, he's not dead. The Jeremy Schneider commemorative miniature beverage cooling unit?
Temperature control
Temperature control
device.
device.
You guys got to get a plaque. We got to get a plaque. made.
So let me read that back with Jeremy's voice.
All right, go for
Let me
it.
see this real fast.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, this is the Jeremy Schneider. Oh, fuck. I can't read. I don't have my glasses.
Let me do this because
I thought that was in character.
You got it.
I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but Jeremy worked for me at Nike as well, and I used to leave Jeremy voicemails in Jeremy's voice. I would ask him to come in and be like, "Hey, Jeremy, this is Jeremy. I was wondering if you can come into work today." Just shit like that. So where am I looking at? Yeah.
Yeah, top line.
Okay, so the fridge is going to be called the Jeremy Schneider Commemorative Miniature Temperature Control Device.
TM.
Gee,
A little TM on top of that. All right, well, it's official. Can we get a little Dollar Beer Night snap applause for the Jeremy Schneider commemorative miniature temperature control device? Thank you. That's so much. Thank you,
I'm
guys.
glad we got that out of the way.
Yeah, that was a good spitball there, and that's the perfect send off for Jeremy Schneider and the Queen City Podcast.
Love you, bud.
First up on the docket here, just a little bit of something to kick it off, get a little spicy here. We got Sonic the Hedgehog. I know you guys are sick of it. Are you hearing it? We're going to do this episode. When are we going to do it? Who knows? Who cares?
It's the white
It's
whale.
still happening. It's the White Wedding. But regardless, the movie made a shit ton of money, guys.
Really? Oh,
Good.
well, it was
I'm glad.
the number one grossing video game movie of all time, right?
Yes,
Or
it's
something like
officially now the number
Holy
one highest
shit,
grossing
already?
video game property. Yeah. So over the long President's Day week, this comes from Hollywood Reporter. Over the long President's Day weekend, Sonic the Hedgehog zoomed past expectations to a 70 million debut, the studio's biggest domestic opening since Mission Impossible Fallout over 18 months ago.
Jesus.
So, yeah.
And that's with us not seeing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it'll get the Dollar Beer Night bump for sure.
Yeah.
It scored the top opening of
We should
all
buy some
time
stocks.
for a video game adaptation. People call it the right film at the right time, right thing at the right time. It's tracking to do even better. I'm not sure exactly where the box office is going to land or where it's sitting at exactly right now, but
I'm
there it
seeing
is.
a
Sonic
lot of
made money.
reviews that are saying like Jim Carrey back in like 1994.
Oh,
There's a
that's what
lot
I
of
Right.
parallels to that,
Right.
and I'm kind of excited. I'm there for it.
well, it's funny because like it started out as like we were like, oh, we'll get drunk and we'll make fun of it, but now it actually seems like we're gonna like legitimately enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
might come
I-
in sober. Fuck it.
It might turn into an actual good review.
Well,
but,
to tie it back in, this episode kind of trained me how to come in with a neutral eye to things, and that's what I think I'm going to bring to Sonic as well. So,
okay. Try to come in with little to no expectations.
Yeah.
Open your mind. Maybe learn a couple things. Maybe learn why he's so fast.
See, I'm all emotion. Like I was like super against Birds of Prey, and then like I text you guys like 2 days before I saw it. I was like, I'm in.
Did you see it?
I'm all in.
Did
Yeah.
you see it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and
It's good.
I loved it.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally fun.
And I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a 180 with Sonic. Like I've hyped myself into it. Now that I saw the Jim Carrey's funny in it, I'm in.
yeah.
Yeah. And the only other big piece of news on the Sonic, well, we're on the Sonic hype train, obviously, so we'll get there eventually. We'll talk about planning that whenever we do end up doing the Sonic episode. It'll be a mini episode. It won't affect the normal rotation of episodes, right?
Right.
It's not going to throw a wrench in anything.
Sure.
So, but the other big thing is that over the past week, or at least since the last time we put together the podcast, we got the first look at the Batman.
Hype.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pumped. I'm already like the I don't know if you guys have been on like Reddit forums or anything about that, but everybody's trying to seriously like break down every little bit of that photo down to the bat logo was the big thing everybody was talking about.
Sick.
Well, people were talking about is made out of the gun that his parents were killed with. Like that's one of the prevailing theories right now, which I think is dope if true.
Metal as fuck if that's true.
I'm a fan of Robert Pattinson's chin. I didn't know he had that strong of a
He's
chin.
the crimson chin, dude.
And
Excellent
there's no nipples, so that's a win.
Yeah, definitely win. The only thing that really bothered me is that I think it might just be because the video is odd. It's like it bathed in red.
Yeah.
And which is cool looking, but at the same time, the cape, the suit, and the cowl kind of look like different colors almost, like not just a consistent color, like tonally the same thing. And I know that like Ben Affleck's Batsuit was like grayish, like heather gray, and then his helmet was black. But I don't know. This just seems like the colors like really contrasting, but that might just be the way it's shot.
I mean, a lot of Batsuits throughout the years haven't been one continuous color either. I mean, even like as early as like the animated series, he was gray, and then he had the black spandex and the black cowl and the black cape. So
and the yellow belt.
Yep.
Favorite Batsuit? Anybody? Anybody got one that you think stands out among the rest?
Actually, I do have one. Batman Beyond. Where he's like the...
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's my
Tim Drake? Isn't that...
Yeah, which one's that?
I don't know.
I mean...
That's the name of the kid, I think. It was like... That was when Bruce Wayne was like the father figure to the young kid, yeah.
He's got like no cape. He's like all black. The red. Yeah, it looks dope. That's my favorite one. Because you can unlock that in Batman Arkham Asylum or something, and he like looks so fucking evil in that. It's dope.
I was going to say, like, the stuff in the Arkham Knight. Like, that just looks so fucking cool to me. Like, straight up, like, paramilitary shit.
It's like a perfect blend between, like, the super realistic movies and then, like, kind of it's got that, like, animated series, like, kind of, like, beefiness to it.
Yeah, right.
It's super cool. Yeah, I mean, like, just I don't know. Modernly, I would go with Bale's Batman suit just because it looks so slick.
Yeah,
right.
But
it's timeless.
Yeah, it works well for every occasion, you know? But, so I came to these guys with a prompt... And it was a doozy.
We're not going to get in any more banter.
Well, is there anything else you guys had to say?
I wanted to bring up Cameo.
Oh, Cameo.
You guys might see a little Dollar Beer Night advertisement from one of your favorite, actors or Riff Raff, the rapper. You might know.
Everyone's favorite.
Yeah, everyone's favorite. But yeah, Cameo is this new thing online where you can pay your favorite actors to say something to you, and it's hilarious. I've been looking at them like all.
They're great. Yeah, no, they're great. Because I wanted to use it to announce my draft pick at my fantasy draft this year, but my keeper wasn't available at the time on it, so it kind of blew my plans to shit. But it's so funny looking at who's available on there. Ric Flair's available on there.
500 bones
for Ric Flair.
500
Holy
bones.
Shit!
Yeah. Because how long is your message?
I mean, I think
2 minutes.
Yeah, there's probably a max to it, but yeah, I mean,
I've seen some as like small as 20 seconds.
Right. Yeah. Really just depends on what you want to say.
Yeah, I mean, you do have like a big paragraph to type, so as long as you keep it long. I've watched Ric Flair's, and he does go ham in them, so they are worth, I mean, you could say they're worth $500, but are they worth $500?
I've shown you guys the show Letterkenny. Buddy of mine bought a wedding gift, and it was one of the guys from Letterkenny like, hey guys, Samantha, congrats on getting married, and he had to pay $69 for it.
That's so funny. It's such a great idea too.
Yeah,
it's unique
because you get like there's no regulation on the price, so celebrities quote unquote can charge whatever they want, and so you can find somebody that you think is funny within a reasonable. Like there's some like I was looking specifically for wrestlers too. There's some on there that I'd loved for like $10.
Jake the Snake's on there.
Yeah, Buff Bagwell, who is like he's on there. He's always like he was like $10. I'm like, yeah, of course I want Buff Bagwell to say something to me. Let me give him a script.
Buff Bagwell's going to be sending all the schedules out from now on. Every week.
You guys vote who you want us to get. Don't go above like $500. Like try to keep it at $100.
Keep it below 20.
Yeah,
$20. Are there anybody on there? For $20?
Oh yeah. There's a ton.
Yeah,
trust me. Dude.
I'm thinking about the Evan. What's his face? That's like, give me your hat back, Jordan. Or, he's like $25, dude, and he's that
with the ad revenue we're bringing in. It doesn't matter. Money is not enough.
Yeah, not
it's no longer a problem.
You guys have been making our dreams come true. I'll tell you what.
Is the guy that the Vine there where he goes, Adam? Is that guy available?
Oh, dude, I bet he is. I guarantee he is. We could look them up.
That'd be fine with that. Yeah. So if you guys have any suggestions for who you want Cameo to introduce, we were thinking maybe you could introduce our very first video podcast when we do get
that would be
chance
funny.
to come.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you guys have any suggestions, email them to dollarbeernightshow@gmail.com.
Which we're getting closer to video, right?
We're getting close, yeah. So the Diesel Dome, which we'll explain, what Dylan did was we financed this big, beautiful, long wood top table, so it consistently fits us all on each corner of it, and then we have this whole empty space on the other side of the room, where essentially the idea would be that we could get it lit, we could get soundproofing, we could get a camera, so that we have a studio, basically. It's a full-fledged video studio. And that's what the Diesel Dome shall be.
That's the dream, to get some video elements in, and we've been talking about that since our preamble. But
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because
Because we look funny as well.
Yeah.
Like, we don't just talk funny, we look funny.
It sucks because now I have to put my PP away.
yeah,
Yeah, it does suck.
can't just hang with that
Yeah.
thing out anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more nude podcasts.
I mean, you never know. We could do like a premium, you know how like girls,
we
they
can
sell their premium Snapchats. We could just
we can follow the. What's
you
the-
can pay to put the fuzzer, the little sensor, sensor
fans
thing.
only? Is that what it is?
Yeah, fans only.
No, I was thinking Belle Delphine. We could follow that.
Oh
model.
shit,
We could sell our bathwater.
dude! I'll just like gurgle beer back into my
Yes, there we
Fucking
go.
Yeah.
gross.
You want my my death back spit?
yeah, your death backspit.
We'll spray some Windex, wipe off a little bit of the Jeremy Schneider commemorative memorial toilet thing or whatever it's called. I forgot the name of it. And then we'll send it to you via mail.
Yep.
So yeah, video's coming probably soon. We're gonna work on it.
It's gonna be cool.
It's when it does happen, it'll be we want it to go off without a hitch.
It's gonna be really cool.
So it'll be a lot of fun. Does anybody want to plug anything before we get into the show? Like right off the bat, like right off the top, anything that's going on in your guys' lives, like Twitch streams, Twitter handles, Instagram things. Tough luck.
The only thing I'm thinking about is I'm trying to get a super old cell phone. I have an extra line on my plan right now. I just have a SIM card that's activated. So I want to get the oldest phone I could possibly activate and use that so you guys can text us as well as another way.
Yeah,
Because I think that would be super fun and a cool way to get a hold of us. So once I get that figured out, I'll let you know. All my old phones that I have wouldn't charge correctly. I tried a bunch of them last night, but I'll let you know. I might see if I can get like a legit OG Razor because that would be dope.
That would be dope. We might have one at my parents' house.
Or
we
like
don't
the
throw anything
Sidekick.
away.
Well, here's the thing. I need to see if it would work with even the SIM card that I
Gotcha.
don't even know if those had SIM cards.
Okay.
So
I think they did.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I think it depends on the phone service.
Yeah.
Another thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
You got
that's it. Go ahead.
Dapper Apparel Company. They're going to be coming out with a new athletic line. My little brother Devin has been spearheading that, so stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of workout shit. So if you want to look good for the summer, Dapper Apparel Company, dapperapparel.co if you want to check it out.
What say we dive into the mailbag? Do you
Yep,
got a
let's do it.
jingle for me, Dylan?
Yep. Boop-ba-da-doo.
No mail, unfortunately. So no one sent us any.
Actually, we got a DM.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, we did get one.
Did
Want
we?
me to read that out? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
we
I
got
sent
a
it to you
DM.
guys.
On Twitter or no?
It
Yeah.
was on Instagram,
On
I believe.
Insta.
Shout him out. Shout out the boy.
Cody Garrett Music.
Hey, baby.
Dude, I love the new podcast. I think a video game episode would be great. Not sure of a specific topic, but you guys should definitely touch on them in some sort.
Thanks for writing in.
Yeah. Thanks, Cody.
Thanks, Cody.
I have something in the works, maybe for not my next topic, but maybe the topic after that. So
I'm sure video games will be brought up in some capacity multiple times.
Always.
multiple times.
Our storytelling episode was pretty much video games.
Wait,
A good chunk of it was.
Wait a minute.
At least 35%.
Wait a minute. So this episode isn't about the Aladdin video game because
that shit
I literally
slapped.
played that all week.
here, hold on. Well, we can talk about that because all those Disney games back in
Yeah.
the day, because they figured that, like the rental market was huge back then.
Yeah,
so they
yeah,
made
yeah.
them intentionally almost impossible to beat, so kids would continue to rent them, and so they could get the money from that. Like the Lion King game is a specific example of that, where that second stage where you have to jump on all of the lions, where it's I can't wait to be king stage.
It's impossible.
It's almost impossible. It's really interesting because I've watched a couple videos on it where it's like they intentionally made their games really fucking hard so kids would continue to rent them.
Blockbuster, baby.
Yeah.
And look how successful they are now.
A booming metropolis.
Yeah, you can get the Aladdin and Lion King bundle remasters right now on PlayStation Network, and I've been so tempted to do it. After, on topic, after watching both Aladdins this past week, I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood for some more Disney.
Same.
So,
Absolutely.
might pick up...
the Disney documentaries are phenomenal. I don't know if you guys watch those, but...
I've been wanting to watch one or two. Yep.
Yeah.
I'd like to jump into those.
Yeah, the one you and Jeremy were talking about, I kind of know that story. It's really interesting how he bought up all that land, and everybody's like, "What the fuck are you doing buying all this swampland in the
What's
middle of Florida?"
Anaheim?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it's a really cool story, like the Disneyland and Disney World stories. So I might have to watch that because I'm slightly informed on it, but I'm not truly in depth. So
It's one of those things. It's why all documentaries are great to me. I know little information about things, and then I feel like an expert by the time it's done. It's it gives you more information than you ever wanted. But there's some cool stuff about the animation, what'd you call it, the Renaissance of animation.
Yeah,
it was in the late 80s, early 90s, and it's kind of where Aladdin blossomed.
Yep. Yeah, there was that golden era, essentially, that second golden era of Disney, which was The Lion King, Little Mermaid, Aladdin,
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, it was that's cool for me because that's when I was going to the movies and watching Disney movies as a kid because I was born in '87, so that all hit perfectly for me.
Mm-hmm. And this is a good segue into the first portion of the discussion.
Yep.
Obviously, tonight's going to be pretty conversational. The prompt was to watch the 1992 Disney classic.
Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah.
It's time for Disney Channel movie. You remember that? The little jingle?
Vaguely. But I think that should...
Hey, what's up? I'm Dylan, and you're watching Disney Channel.
And then they draw the
and I draw the mouse.
Not to derail too much, but
God, we're derailing bad.
I don't know who did it originally, but whoever took the time to track them, actually drawing those, and they're so fucking off. It's so fucking funny, dude. Hey, just look it up on YouTube. I don't know what you would search
it's like hieroglyphs.
Disney drawing, Mickey, Disney Channel drawings or something might get you there. But it's all the promos where they try to draw the Mickey Mouse head, and none of them come even fucking close. It's so funny, dude.
Aladdin, 1992 was the prompt, and then also to then and then follow that up by watching the 2019 Aladdin remake. But what you were talking about the Disney Renaissance, the original Aladdin in 1992 came out during the Disney Renaissance. This included such films, and this is in order by, I think this might just be score order, but Little Mermaid, The Rescuers Down Under, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, Pocahontas, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hercules, Mulan, and Tarzan. These are the films that are widely considered to be part of the Disney Renaissance. Yep. Does anybody have any strong opinions that Aladdin and The Lion King are not the best of those pack? You would say Hercules, right? I thought that's
did you say Hercules?
Hercules is part of the Renaissance.
Hercules is part of the Renaissance.
Hercules is number one for me.
For you.
Hercules is great. I know we had a short little clip of banter about it, but I loved Hercules. It's really funny. I have an anecdote about that because I went to go see it in the theater.
Yeah,
it's Hunchback of Notre Dame is the last animated truly hand-drawn animated Disney movie I went to see in theaters. But I saw Hercules before. I think it came out before.
I'll look.
I'm pretty sure. Anyway, we went to go see it. Me and my younger brother and my father went to go see it. And on the way home...
June 13th, 1997, Hercules came to theaters. So... 5 years? Yeah. 5 years after Aladdin?
Sure. Well, I'm talking about Hunchback.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
But we had, on the way home, my dad was had a really stern talk with me and my brother. He's like, guys, that stuff's just made up. Those gods don't really exist. I was like, okay, Dad.
Real God
thanks.
Is, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Hunchback of Notre Dame was 96.
So it was after.
So Hercules came out the year after Notre Dame.
So my memory was wrong. I thought it was the last one I saw, but yeah, clearly because I remember that conversation more than going to see the movie, just because at the time I was like, okay.
You're like that meme. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, those are all great movies, but I mean, Hercules to me is perfect. So,
yeah.
I mean, all these other ones are great.
What was on the list again?
No, you're fine. Little Mermaid, Rescuers Down Under, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, Pocahontas, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hercules, Mulan, and Tarzan. That's the Renaissance films in a package there.
Well, like before this podcast or before this homework, I probably would have been like, oh, like those two are the best. But like this has me like, man, I really forgot how much I loved Aladdin.
Aladdin's great. For me, it's Lion King 1, Aladdin 2, or like 1B.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about like original soundtrack, that might change the conversation a little bit because the original songs in Pocahontas are
God.
They are great. Yeah, Pocahontas is a great soundtrack.
Tarzan does too.
The documentary I was talking about the animation, it talks about the guy that wrote all the songs for all these animated movies, and that guy was incredible.
Yeah.
And
I still
it was just one guy.
Yeah, for my money, I still think Aladdin. I put it in my notes even. Like Aladdin is maybe the best Disney soundtrack ever. Like from top to bottom. Like the original songs in the original Aladdin are so fucking
How
good.
many
It's so
times have you
memorable.
guys said
Banger
riff
after
raff street
banger.
rat? I've said it 100
Riff
times.
Raff,
And
Street Rat.
I've said it 100 times.
Only they look closer. It's that. We'll get into it.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
get into
yeah.
it.
We'll get into
Let's just jump right in. So, Aladdin, 1992, released on November 25th of 92, directed by Ron Clements and John Musker. When it came out, it grossed $504 million on a budget of $28 million. So quite the return on that one. The running time, 1 hour and 30 minutes. It is the 31st Disney animated feature film and was the fourth produced during the Disney film era known as the Renaissance. Aladdin was released in 92 to critical and commercial success, becoming the highest grossing film of 1992. Upon release, it became the first animated feature to reach the $500 million mark and was the highest grossing animated film of all time until it was surpassed by The Lion King. Aladdin also garnered 2 Academy Awards as well as other accolades for its soundtrack, which had the first and only number from a Disney feature to ever earn a Grammy Award for Song of the Year. Wow. The film's home video VHS release also set a series of records and grossed about $500 million in the United States. Aladdin's success led to various derived works and other material inspired by the film, including 2 direct-to-video sequels, The Return of Jafar and King of Thieves, and an animated television series of the same name. Have you guys seen Return of the Jafar or King of Thieves?
I have
Yes.
seen Return of Jafar. It was a long time ago.
Have it on VHS
It's
at my
garbage.
parents' house.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Did those go straight to like VHS
Yeah,
and stuff?
straight to
Right.
video.
I would assume that Disney Plus has like made these look better. But like when I watched the first Aladdin, I like just skimmed through the other like animated ones.
Oh, cool.
And their quality is shit.
Yeah,
Like,
they look
shit.
terrible.
Well, the first Aladdin, what you said, 28 million.
28 million
I
budget.
doubt they got even
Yeah.
close to that.
Yeah, half that, if anything.
I mean, we have to think about like inflation too. Like back then, $28 million is a lot. It was a lot for an animated feature,
yeah.
for a theatrical feature. So like these things that they're pumping out to VHS and like to their televisions, and like if you think that the animation in those are bad, holy God, check out a YouTube clip of the animated Aladdin TV series, which I forgot even existed. It looks like garbage.
Damn.
Absolute garbage. Terrible. So yeah, the writer and director Ron Clements and John Musker, they worked together on quite the number of films. They both co-wrote Hercules, Princess and the Frog, Treasure Planet, and The Little Mermaid remake, which is scheduled for production here in the next few years, you would assume. And they also both directed together The Little Mermaid, Moana, The Princess and the Frog, Treasure Planet, Hercules, Aladdin, The Little Mermaid, and The Great Mouse Detective. So these guys, bona fide hit makers.
These
you know
guys
what
are
I'm
my childhood, is what you just told me.
saying? Yeah. So together they worked on all these projects together. And yeah, that's Aladdin. And a short little snippet of the factoids now, starting with you, Tommy.
You want to know me first?
In a couple sentences, maybe a paragraph, what did you think in your rewatch of Aladdin?
Oh man, I forgot how much I loved it. I forgot how like sick the Cave of Wonders was. And, like,
Yeah, dude.
it, like
Yeah.
busting
Yeah,
out of the sand. Like the first scene showing that, I was like, man, I forgot how cool this. Like I want that as a tattoo now. I have it pulled up. Like I just want that tiger head on my arm.
I have a note in my...
Whose voice is that? Do we know?
Yes.
Do you know that?
So, Abu and the Cave of Wonders were voiced by the same person.
Oh, okay.
The name of this actor and let's see if I get a rise from Kevin here, is Frank Welker.
Yeah, baby.
He also voiced the
Optimus Prime.
He voiced Optimus
No
Prime
way.
and Megatron in Terminator the movie in 1986,
Yep.
and he also voiced the monkey in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
No fucking way. That's sick.
Yeah,
Frank
so-
Welker is
That's some
fucking
range.
legendary, dude. Frank Welker is awesome.
Yeah.
If you don't know the name Frank Welker, please look him up because he's one of the best voice actors of all time. Yeah.
And in my notes, speaking on, I can't believe that's what you brought up first, because that was my first note when I was watching the original
Nice.
Aladdin. Was
Hell yeah.
I said, has CGI against a 2G backdrop ever looked cooler than the Cave of
Right?
Wonders?
Well, yeah, I wrote that in my
The
notes
answer is
too. Like
no.
that CG holds up so well. It's
it
so
looks
fucking
so
good.
It looks
good.
great. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, man.
It's because it contrasts. Like, it doesn't look natural,
So
right?
dope.
But it totally fits the aesthetic. It's like this thing that's like bigger than everything else. It's so beautiful looking, like, because it's like they have it in shadow and it's dark and it's not like blown out in colors. It's so subtle and it's so cool.
Well, think about the time that this was 92, right?
1992.
So like like CG was a completely untapped territory. There was only maybe 20 people in the entire world that even knew how to do it.
Right.
So for it to look that good, almost 30 years on now,
yeah.
that's insane to me. Like I was literally blown away by how good and how effective that CG still looked.
Oh yeah.
Because like I said, in the context of the time period, like, I mean, what Toy Story was released in 97, 98? The original
Oh
one?
boy, the
97.
original Toy Story.
97? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, we were 3 years away from the first Pixar movie. 4 years. Oh no, not even that. I can't do math. We were multiple years away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's a sick.
Look at
t-shirt.
that fucking shirt.
Find the diamond in the rough.
Toy Story was released in 95
Oh, really? Shit.
in
Wow.
theaters. In theaters in November of
Wow.
95.
I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure Disney just paid everybody gobs of money that knew how to do CG, and they had them in like a studio. In
You
like
really
these-
need to watch that documentary.
in Australia or something like that. I think they were somewhere in like Australia or something like. They were all in the same place or something like.
Yeah, they sent Disney people all over the world to, to learn how to do stuff like that.
Yep.
You would love that documentary.
I'm sure, dude. I love documentaries in general, and I love Disney. So
Yeah. Sorry, Tommy. Finish.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know really where my thought was going, but I'll try to find it back.
You like the movie on your rewatch?
Yeah,
You thought
I
it was
loved
great.
it. Going back to the Cave of Wonders, like the whole scarab beetle, like being his eyes.
Yes.
Like,
So cool.
shoot, man. I love Genie. I didn't notice. I mean, obviously you don't notice that kind of stuff when you're a kid, but I didn't notice that like Robin Williams was the merchant in the beginning. That's like, oh,
Yeah, I wrote that in my notes too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I knew that, but it hit me again as well.
Yeah,
when I rewatched.
when I
It's
was-
like, oh shit, yeah.
When I was rewatching it, I was like, the way he was talking so like fast.
It's
and
very
crazy.
Robin
I was
Williams,
like, that's
yeah.
so Robin
Very
Williams.
animated, there's a really cool fact here I've got. I'm
Yeah.
just like going to hit you guys with fun facts as we talk about this stuff. Near the beginning of the film, the peddler, also voiced by Williams, tries to sell his wares, but the products weren't actually in the script. Jeffrey Katzenberg provided Williams with a box full of stuff covered with a cloth. Then they put Williams in front of a microphone,
Oh my
lifted the
God.
cloth, and had him riff off whatever was in the
That's
box that he
so
saw.
dope.
Combination hookah coffee maker.
Dude, that was my favorite. Yeah, that's my favorite part.
also Julianne fries.
I think during
And now
because I
it's
remember
perfect.
this because I think during the actual voiceover that thing broke. It actually broke, and he said, "Oh, it broke." And
Oh look, it broke.
I love that part. It's so perfect. So did they animate that after he did that
Yeah.
whole
yeah,
thing?
that's a lot.
really
That's how a
cool.
lot of animation happens too.
Okay.
It's like they'll give you like a picture of a person that you're voicing.
Yeah.
and then they'll watch the way you animate,
move
you
and-
move and talk,
Right,
and then
right.
because it makes it more authentic too.
Yeah.
Dylan, what were do you have anything left to say about? Sorry, on your on your
Well,
thoughts?
yeah, no, not for like the little because we're gonna kind
Oh,
of
yeah,
dive
yeah,
deeper
yeah,
into
deep
it. But
dive.
yeah, for my couple of sentences, I forgot how much I really love this movie, and I had a blast watching it. I had my little fuzzy slippers kicked up. I was shiny hunting at first, and I actually turned my Switch off. I was like, I'm gonna give all my attention to this. Like I was like, I don't want to shiny hunt during this. This is awesome. So yeah.
Dylan, hit me.
Genie is impeccable. 1992 one.
Mic drop.
Mic
That's
drop.
really
That-
all you need to say.
Yeah,
Rest in peace, baby.
I think
Yeah, for sure.
Aladdin is a lot better in this one than the other one. If I'm just going to put my cards on the table, he has a great singing voice. He has a great personality. He just seems like a good-hearted person in this one. And I really, if it wasn't for Aladdin in this one, I probably wouldn't like the second one as much.
Can we talk about how Aladdin fucking called the e-boy scene? I don't know if you guys like saw this part. Like actually like process this part, but there's a part where Aladdin like puts his head down. I forget what he says, but he like strokes his hair back real quick and says something to Genie, and I was like, did he just e-boy Genie right now? Like that was some TikTok shit. I forget what he says.
And then he did Orange Justice.
Well, no, I think it was like when he was trying to finesse him into getting out of the wish. He's like, I don't know if we can get out of this cave, and he like,
he's like,
Yeah.
he like swoops his hair.
I don't know.
down.
You
Oh,
can't even
so
get
dope.
us out of this cave. I don't know how power. There's something like that. It's some dumb shit like that.
And then at the end too, he's like, well, I'm really gonna miss you. And he like swoops his hair. back.
Aladdin is sexual as fuck.
So dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could watch when Genie first comes out of I could watch that over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a magical movie moment.
Yeah.
That entire sequence. Yeah.
And all the times he like turns into other Hollywood stars, like he does Jack Nicholson.
Okay, Sparky, here's what you gotta do.
Who else does he does? I mean, I'm sure you have the fun facts, but who else does he do in those parts?
So I didn't necessarily write all of those things down,
Okay,
but he
okay.
did.
We'll figure it out.
Jack Nicholson is one of them. He does that late night talk show host,
Yeah.
Johnny Carson. He does Johnny
Well,
Carson.
he
at one point.
does. He does Arsenio Hall as well.
Right, he does that.
So funny, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could talk about Genie forever.
Yeah,
Kevin, Kevin, what did you think of Aladdin '92?
Okay, so initially my thoughts on this, it's my second favorite, maybe my tie for first favorite Disney movie of all time. The thing that stood out to me the most on the rewatch is one, the remaster, like the digital upscale of it looks incredible.
Yeah, it looks great.
Because I've seen upscaled versions of stuff before and it's still kind of rough. Like and specifically like the Lion King upscale, the part where Simba's coming back and he steps on they have to do a close up of his paw and he does like a step on like a dried twig.
Yeah.
They like the lines are really rough in that. And I didn't see any roughness in this upscale. So it looks great. Good job, Disney Plus. I haven't watched the Lion King on there yet, but hopefully they fix
really
that issue
good.
because it's jarring. It kind of takes me out of it. But to me, it's just the colors. The colors in this film are so vibrant and so well done. Everything in this movie is absolutely gorgeous. To the music, to the way everything looks. Jasmine is the sexiest Disney princess of all time.
Amen.
Don't at me, but yeah, she is the best.
Yeah, Jasmine rocks.
You're right about the music, though. I mean,
From top to bottom, it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
there's other films like
The music slaps, boy.
I think the music direction in Lion King is a little better. I think they do like the way they insert the music into the movie is more effectively. But this actual songs are just top to bottom great. in
Aladdin almost seems like a play. Like,
Yeah.
it seems
Yeah.
like a
No, I
very
agree.
pivotal moment when a song comes on.
Yep.
Yeah. And the characters themselves like move into those moments to sing themselves. Like there's a lot of artifice when they sing.
Yeah,
It's
sure,
like
sure,
it's
sure.
very. I mean, Prince Ali is like this huge bombastic.
It's so good.
It's so
It's
good.
so good.
In the Lion King, and I haven't seen the Jon Favreau, the new one, but like the Lion King, they still find a way to work in nature and naturalism to all the music songs. So it feels less like a musical and more just like these music moments are happening.
It's
in
actual
this
music direction. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Like there's a couple parts with that da, 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 and the Lion King comes in, and it's like just so emotionally like powerful. But yeah, like I think the actual music in this movie and it's so stunning to look at. I think it's the most visually stunning Disney movie that's been made.
Definitely up there. Yeah, I love this movie. I picked it because I think that a lot of the controversy, which we'll get into with the live action remake that just hit in 2019, and also this movie, was kind of one of those. All the trailers were showing us all the same things that we had seen before. So many iconic things. The way that the carpet is designed, the colors on the rug, the colors of that Jasmine wears, what Aladdin's wearing, how the Genie looks, what these settings are like, the place that they're in. And I just think that Aladdin is it captures such a great visual style. And the music elevates everything about it. And, this movie could have been so boring if there weren't like both. But it nails both. If one of them were bad, it could have been like a boring run-of-the-mill B. I mean, it's an hour and a half, so there's like not much substance to Aladdin. It's kind of like a really straightforward story. You could explain the plot of Aladdin in about a sentence.
It's the Prince and the Pauper, essentially.
Yeah, and so the fact that they were able to make it so enjoyable, so funny, so endearing with these two great elements, these amazing visual, because some of the acting, not the hottest, let's be real here, in the some of the voice acting in the original Aladdin.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like all of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean,
The Sultan.
I fucking love the Sultan.
He's
dude.
funny.
The
Yeah,
Sultan
he's
is a
really
thumbs
funny.
down for me in the animated.
Yeah, he's a doofus.
He is a
but-
doofus. Yeah.
which sucks. Not to spoil too much, but the Sultan in the live action is a fucking G, dude.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
I love it. Genie's range in the animated is I think it hits a little bit harder because the way Robin Williams is like, disappointed that he's going to waste his last wish, and I felt like that hit a little bit harder in the animated more than the live action.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
sure.
But man, dude, Aladdin. Just in general, I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those movies where the reason why I wanted to pick it is because of that, because of how iconic it was.
Yeah.
To be able to compare and contrast it with something new, because this is the pattern. The movie-going audiences have shown that they will pay top dollar, as we'll get into the box office for Aladdin 2019. I don't know if you guys know how much money that movie made. It's kind of absurd, but people are going to see and are continuing to support these remakes and these reimaginings of things. And I just think that starting off with talking about 92 Aladdin is important because it is so special. Like, there is something just inherently special from the very beginning of the movie when you see it still has the old fashioned, like the castle, it zooms out, and then and then you get the
Arabian Nights, dude, maybe the best opening ever.
so good.
Yeah.
That song's
Kicks the movie off with a bang, and it's so tone setting because you're seeing these awesome shots of the city. It's just so good, man. I don't, yeah.
Well, I love like kind of Middle Eastern type music anyway, and like world music in general. It's just so much. To me, it's got a different. It's not more interesting than like Western music, but it does have that extra layer of stuff that we're not used to hearing, like extra musicality that we're not necessarily used to hearing, like Middle Eastern, Indian, Chinese, like kind of folk music is so fucking cool, man. Because again, they sing and they talk in a different way than we do traditionally in Western culture, and it's so cool and interesting to listen to. That's why I think Arabian Nights, like you said, Zach, is a great tone setter for like just bringing you into that world, because it's an escapism kind of thing. It's like, I want to feel like I'm in Agrabah, you know what I mean? And I do, because Arabian Nights brings me straight into that world.
Oh yeah.
And is Agrabah not just the coolest sounding kingdom name?
Agrabah.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome, man. Like, I want to go to Agrabah. Like, it's like the Petra, you know? Like, seeing pictures of Petra, like, I want to go there.
Yeah.
I love
Hogwarts.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
That was all I had.
We went from
That's it. That's the sentence. Hogwarts.
Agrabah is like Hogwarts, really.
it's a lot like Hogwarts. I love like when buildings are like super close to each other and like just those like really short like alleyways that Aladdin finds like ways to like parkour ultimately through. Like he's traversed this town so much. He knows this town like the back of his hands. He knows these people like the back of his hands. So he's just like busting through and doing all these cool things in these like small alleyways and stuff. And I love that shit. It wouldn't have worked if it was like, and I guess it could have worked if it was in like New York or something, but
It kind of raises a question. Did Aladdin invent parkour?
Yes.
did he?
I think he did.
He's a parkour e-boy.
It's the earliest documented case, yeah. Parkour, you boy.
Yeah, see, if they were going to remake that movie but also modernize it and not keep it in the time, he would have been a TikToker,
Yeah.
you know. Got to steal to eat, got to TikTok. You're the only friend, Abu.
Dude, Abu is so dope. Abu. I forgot.
Abu gets him in all the trouble, though.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah,
Abu.
that monkey.
I don't like Abu in either movie.
you don't like
Yeah.
Abu?
It's
I
like
love him.
he would have made it out of that cave
He's a
just
monkey.
fine. He would have been just fine getting out of that cave.
But then
If
he
it
would have
weren't for
gotten
Abu.
fucking killed by Jafar.
Abu also doesn't want to give away the bread.
He does though.
Reluctantly.
Abu's a dick.
Not because he's a good person.
Abu
He's
was
He's not a
Abu
good
is,
monkey.
Abu was a fuckboy.
He's a monkey.
Well, here's the thing I wrote in my notes too, and this is a thing in all like animated Disney movies. Why does the animal companion get so fucking mad when the male protagonist falls in love with a banging ass chick?
yeah, he does.
Let me
Like,
tell
why?
you something. My dog won't let me hug my girlfriend.
so it's true to life.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It portrays real life.
But it's so weird to me though. It's like
I mean, they dedicate a whole song to that in The Lion King.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true. That's
so
true.
It's that the idea of someone moving on past your friends, like leaving you to go for a relationship with somebody else. Like
Oh, yeah,
the
Timon
time
and Pumbaa.
split.
what a great fucking song that is. What a great movie moment that is.
Yeah.
Just Timon and Pumbaa like lamenting the loss of their friend. Like it's when your first buddy gets married.
Exactly.
That's exactly what that is.
They're like rolling around and they're just
Can you feel the love tonight?
His better days with us are history.
so good.
It's also super depressing when you think about
it
it.
really is. It's the loss of a bro.
Yeah. I've got a note here. Gilbert Gottfried is the GOAT.
Yes,
we
dude.
agree.
It's so funny to me because I don't know if you guys have heard Gilbert Gottfried tell the dirtiest joke of all time. It's like a 12-minute joke that is just so vulgar.
I might have.
It's one of his. It's like it's one of the things that made Gilbert Gottfried like a legend. If you haven't heard Gilbert Gottfried tell the dirtiest joke of all time, it's one of the most vile, disgusting things of all time, but it's so funny. And I can't separate that voice from that joke. So hearing Gilbert Gottfried in a Disney movie is so jarring, but so he's perfect for Iago.
Perfect for Iago.
If I have to taste another one of those stale crackers.
My favorite line from him I had written down was, "I think I'm going to have a heart attack from not surprised." the way he phrases that line is so funny. It's almost like the script because that doesn't make any sense grammatically.
Yeah.
But
So
like,
funny.
I bet you that was not in the script like that. And Gilbert Gottfried kind of just like
And he's one of my favorite comedians of all time because he's just he doesn't give a shit, man, and he's fucking hilarious.
He's a one-note comedian.
Yeah.
But that note is like a 10 out of 10. It's like the opera belting thing. It's so the you saying the dirtiest joke ever. I can't separate him from when he did that. I think it might have been with College Humor where he read porn. So it's like an audiobook, but it's him reading like novelized porn.
Yes, incredible.
And it is the most hysterical thing ever.
The way he talks, where he talks like this, and it's very slow and deliberate, and every syllable is the most important syllable he's ever said in his life. It just makes everything so ridiculous.
It's just
man.
How did he end up with that voice? Like, what did he do? Is he? It could be an act. He could just be like the best actor.
I don't
ever.
think it is. I think he's just. I think he hams it up a little bit, but yeah, I think that is his actual ridiculous voice.
He's on Cameo. We could get him to introduce.
God, that's incredible.
We can get him to introduce us. I think he's like $100.
I'll do it, dude.
Put it down. Put it down now. Yeah, the mind control.
You had a good. You had a good fact for Gilbert, right?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know about that. Yeah. So I got a fact about Iago, not necessarily Gilbert Gottfried himself. Danny DeVito and Joe Pesci both passed on the part of Iago.
Oh shit.
Yeah, both of them. So I guess Gilbert Gottfried was not their first.
And then that's how he got Affleck, right?
Yeah, Gilbert Gottfried after Aladdin was then got the Affleck bird job.
They definitely were going for a certain shtick then, for sure.
For sure.
And I can hear Joe Pesci not as much, but I can hear Danny DeVito being
Joe
Iago.
Pesci from Goodfellas. I can hear being Iago for sure.
Yeah.
And then wasn't Danny DeVito in Hercules?
Yeah, he was Phil.
He was
Octes,
Phil.
Yeah,
son.
he was the small little demon dude, right?
But he looks just like Phil.
He does.
So
He is Phil
made
Octes in real life.
Yeah.
True to life. I wrote mind control in the original one is pretty metal the way that they show it. Like the staff having the eyes and like everything going red and
The staff never actually works in the new one. You notice that?
Yeah, and
Someone always interrupts it.
I think that's fine. I think it's more of a true to life thing. It's like low magic Game of Thrones type of fantasy, as opposed to like magic really truly exists in this world. I kind of like that approach to it.
Yeah. Well, since we're touching on the new one,
should we dive into the new one?
We're diving into both.
Yeah.
Everything laid out on the table. But Aladdin 2019, we also watched this one, everybody. Coming in at a beefy 2 hours and 8 minutes long. Directed by Guy Ritchie, written by John August, and screenplay by Guy Ritchie. Coming in at a worldwide gross of $1.5 billion. Woo. The 37th highest grossing movie of all time. On a production budget of $182 million.
Oh,
so the worldwide box office is 5.8 times their production budget. So they made their money back 5.8 times over on
fucking
Aladdin
for
20.
real.
I'm for real.
Holy shit.
100%. So it made a ton of money. Domestic, $355 million. International, $695 million. So this international take was 66% of its earnings. So more than half.
And did they put it on Broadway after the live action, or has that always been on Broadway?
I don't know. I didn't do any Broadway research because I know that I think the Aladdin as a production has been going on for a while. I don't think it was just this past year, but I could be wrong.
I feel like this isn't confirmed, but I feel like that's why these live action remakes gained traction in the first place because the Lion King stage show was so fucking good, or got such. I haven't seen it, so I don't know personally, but I know it's gotten reviewed very well. So.
It's good enough to travel the country,
and
the world probably ever. Guy Ritchie, do y'all have any like strongholds to the name Guy Ritchie? Does anything ring a bell that you might have seen that was directed by Guy Ritchie?
Like the name rings a bell, but I can't recall to mind anything. Like I'm bad with names in Hollywood.
Anything on that one, Tommy?
Nope, I don't.
Guy Ritchie has directed movies such as Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels in 1998,
Classic.
Snatch in 2000,
Classic.
Rock and Rolla in 2008, the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes remake in 2009.
Now we're talking.
Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows in 2011, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. in 2015, King Arthur: Legend of the Sword in 2017, and then Aladdin in 2019. It's also a fun fact to note that Aladdin is his first PG movie ever made.
Yeah. If he started with Lock, Stock, then yeah.
So, and then this is the one that really got me. Okay, John August, the writer of this film, the guy that penned the script, y'all. You know what I mean? Writer. Mm-hmm. He wrote such bangers as 2000's Titan AE, 2000's Charlie's Angels, 2003's Charlie Angels Full Throttle, 2003's Big Fish, 2003's
Big Fish is good.
Yeah, 2003's Alaska TV movie, 2005's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, 2005's A Corpse Bride, 2012 Dark Shadows, 2012 Frankenweenie, and then 2019 Aladdin. And this writing genius is heading on to do XXX4.
Oh my god! This might.
He's a big fan of the name Charlie.
This might spoil. So the guy who wrote this might spoil my thoughts on this movie. But did he watch the first fucking Aladdin? Did he ever watch it? Because boy, do I have a bone to pick with him.
I don't like the writing in this movie at all. Like the dialogue, a lot of the dialogue that they borrow from the original Aladdin works.
Yeah.
But every other line just fell completely flat for me. I don't know about you guys. Like I just thought the dialogue was so stiff.
I feel bad for Kevin because he's like,
I love it, dude. I really liked this movie. Like I was shocked by how much I liked this movie. Like I liked it so much that I watched like behind the scenes shit afterwards.
Lead it off.
We need give me your paragraph.
We give me your
need
paragraph.
2 sides of the coin.
So in the first like 20 minutes of the movie, I was so appalled. But again, I let in like I have a fuck ton of notes about the new one. So like Will Smith's version of Arabian Nights didn't offend me. I thought it was actually not bad. I did.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I didn't like how long they made Arabian Nights.
Yeah, it's
like
they
extended it for just a little bit too long, and the verses that they wrote that were extra didn't hit quite as hard. I also think that Will Smith isn't as strong doing just straight vocal performances.
Sure. Yeah, he's not a vocalist. He's a whack rapper at best.
Right. Exactly.
And I had like the CG is a little off-putting. Like it approaches uncanny valley territory. So in contrast to the original one, where the CG still looks fucking amazing 30 years on. One thing that struck me immediately was that the set design and again the colors are fucking amazing in this movie. I loved everything, the way everything looked. This Agrabah looks awesome. It almost reminded me of like an Assassin's Creed game. Video games are going to come up in probably every podcast we do, but it like this layout of the city when they like show it from Aladdin's like hut or whatever, it reminded me. I was like, oh shit, I could see Ezio Auditore jumping around on these fucking roofs.
Yeah. And I liked. Sorry to butt in again.
No, you're fine.
But the you were saying about the parkour, the shot where he's invading, like the faraway shot of him coming into the palace where he's like jumping across the things. I was like, it looks cool. That looks really neat. It looks like Assassin's Creed.
In the first 20 minutes, I was really because they fucking forced their first interaction so hard. I'm like, this sucks.
It was so awkward.
It's so awkward. So poorly. It's such a bad inciting action for these two characters to give a shit about each other.
I was like, why is this happening so soon?
Yeah, it's
what
bad.
the fuck
it's
is
bad.
going on?
It's bad because I watched them back to back, so I'd freshly come off one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yep.
And seeing because the way they build up the relationship in the original one is so good. Like they have a reason to care about each other. And the whole sequence, the I forget what the song's called, where he's running away from the guards.
One jump.
Yeah, it's bad.
Ahead of the bread line.
One swing ahead of the sword.
Guy Ritchie, I wanted, in the little mini documentary I watched, he said, like, I wanted to experiment with different, like, frame rates, and it just doesn't work. It looks so bad. I wrote in my notes, like, it looks like a YouTuber with a lot of money produced this scene. And it looks so fucking bad.
Yeah, because there's one moment where they're like moving in slow motion kind of, but his mouth is still moving at the regular pace, and I'm like, what is happening?
It looks horrible.
I was like, am I on fucking Quaaludes? Because it looked like
it looks terrible.
It looks terrible.
It looks bad. But from that point on, I love the new Sultan. I love the new Jafar, where he's got like a really cool backstory where he's a king of thieves. I loved it, dude. I don't. You guys are fucking laughing, but I really liked it. I think it worked. I think making it more real made more sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think I'm in the middle of Kevin and you guys.
So you're like the Oreo cream.
Yeah, I'm right in the middle, getting creamed in between, like an Oreo. Finish your thoughts, Kev. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean it's really kind of the summation of it. I think they did the feminism aspect of it really well.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I mean because a lot of times in Disney movies they can lay on their preachiness kind of heavy, but I think it's handled really well in this movie.
No,
where
I like that.
She is empowered, and certainly more than the original one, where she's just kind of like a helpless dame. But the original Jasmine still kind of like is petulant and like in like a very feminist way, but it's not like overly preachy. She's still kind of she's a regular human. She's not like a social justice warrior. Like,
yeah, she's a badass that wants to make her own decisions.
Yeah, she's a badass woman who knows how her worth, and it comes across
and
super effectively.
Wants.
The one thing I did not like, because I liked a lot of Jasmine. I think Jasmine in the new movie is good. But the one thing I didn't like was that most of the movie stays pretty true to the whole, like, she's a badass, she wants to do her own thing, she's not really going to listen to everybody, she's going to talk smack, that's her character. What I didn't like was during the one jump scene, there's the moment in the original where they're on the rooftops, and he jumps across the buildings and then lays down a board.
Yes.
And then he's like expecting her to walk over. But in this one, there's the whole scene where he's on the other side. He's like, come on, you can do it. I know you can do it. And then she like timidly, because of the people coming up behind her, falls across the thing and then lands. And I was like, man, that was such a cool moment in the original because you get Jasmine's character immediately from that. And in this one, they just let her fall right into his lap. And I was like, that's a weird juxtaposition based on everything else in the rest of the movie.
So the thing is, like, I forgot about that because she's so powerful through the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's like she was a different character during the one jump sequence.
Yeah, that whole first like 20 minutes of the movie is completely different from the rest of it, in my opinion.
I think it starts
horribly,
very badly.
One of the worst openings I've ever seen.
I hated the opening with Will Smith and the kids because it was like, even if you know the original story and you can kind of, you can piece together things, when he like turns around and it's Will Smith, I'm like, oh, that's Genie after he's freed.
You called that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they were doing like a Robin Williams, and he's going to do the
traveling
salesman.
I
thought it was like an ode to that, like a Easter egg.
I mean,
to
it
that.
was,
but
it was also very obvious that.
Yeah, but then at the end, it's his wife that turns around, and it's his kids that are there telling the story. So it's like, well, okay. I mean, like I know
You'll
what
tell them stories,
right? I know what happens because we've all seen the original Aladdin, but I was just like, oh, okay, I know exactly what this is. You've not removed tension because we know how it ends, but I just didn't think that was a clever or necessary addition.
Sure.
Just cut straight into Arabian Nights.
Yeah, I agree.
That's so much more powerful the way that they do that in 92. Dylan?
I got a lot of notes.
Oh,
It'll be quick. It'll be quick. Aladdin, the person who plays Aladdin, is a horrible actor, and so is Jafar. Aladdin is... I don't know how he got that job. I don't know if he was like... He showed up... This is going to be a little mean. Yeah. I don't know if he showed up and they were like, you look like Aladdin. You got the job. Let's hear you sing. He's like, no, that's good. You're good. You're Aladdin.
Singing voice is not great.
It sucks. And when he's supposed to show emotion, he's like... He just smiles.
Yeah.
I thought that's all you got?
I thought that he was at his best when they were doing one-on-one stuff with him and Jasmine.
Yeah.
I thought the chemistry was okay.
I loved when he first showed up as Prince Ali, though, and that whole...
When he's super awkward?
Yeah.
That doesn't make a great actor. It just means he's fucking awkward.
Well, I thought it was funny. Like, I thought the comedy in that came across really well.
I don't know. I hated that. I guess I don't like awkward stuff in
Sure.
movies.
You
Sorry,
like The Office.
Which is
like the first
awkward.
2 seasons of The Office. I can't. I like power through it.
Sure.
Tommy, can you grab me a White Claw? Appreciate you.
So that was my first point. I put woman power. I wrote it as I went. I put woman power with the fist up. I really like Jasmine's actress and character. I thought she was hot, and I thought she was cool. Her dad, the Sultan, is a lot better in the remake as a strong male rather than a simple-minded goof. Thought it was weird that all the twists in the beginning, there was like the first half of the movie, they tried to add twists where it wasn't necessary. I kind of liked when Jasmine pretended to be Dahlia, which was like the handmaiden. And at first I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but I mean, if there was going to be some,
I just thought it was unnecessary.
yeah, it was unnecessary, but
Thank
at
you.
least they made it different.
Yeah, they flipped.
It wasn't
they
like
flipped the original script a little bit. They made it different for where Jasmine was the one pretending and not Aladdin at first.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool. Like I thought that was an interesting way to like. Again, they didn't need to do it, but I liked it.
I thought some things in the original. I think I told you guys I fell asleep during the first half
Yeah,
of the
you
movie,
did.
and then
Do you remember what scene that put you down?
it's gonna break your heart. The genie scene.
In
That's
the
not
original?
gonna-
The
remake.
remake.
Oh, okay.
I woke up when the genie song was over.
Oh, sure.
That's
and,
how.
and the applause
Like friend,
sign
like, friend like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My heart isn't broken.
I said Genie and the Handmaiden are far more compelling than Jasmine and Aladdin in this movie.
Oh yeah. Way.
I thought it was a way better
Their
story.
dynamic is so well done. Like
Yeah.
they're just better actors
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah. Minor characters are sort of lacking in this movie. Iago, Abu, Magic Carpet. Even Magic Carpet in the 1992 has a better personality than some of the characters in this movie.
I did like the use of carpet in this one.
I did too.
I think that we're gonna get into it, but the CG shots of them on the carpet,
He's so bad.
like fucking clip art. And I don't want to insult the animators that worked on this film, but
They
like
made billions.
Did they fly through Avatar? The Avatar planet?
they flew across the Pride Lands. That's one of the things, is that there's a shot of them flying over the thing, and that's the Pride Lands from Favreau, like directly ripped from the CGI from that. So, but it just looked like in Photoshop when you cut something out, you click it and then you drag it around the screen. That's what it looked like. Yeah. And I was like, even my girlfriend sitting next to me watching, she was like, "Ooh."
Yeah. Well, you guys remember
not
Nick
good.
Arcade? You remember that show?
Oh yeah, I remember Nick
vaguely,
Arcade.
vaguely.
It's Nick Arcade. It was Nick Arcade. Yeah.
Yep.
Where they just put people in front of a green screen and said, "Okay, well, jump when you
Yeah.
when you think you should." Yeah,
Like
it
they
was
can
bad.
like look off camera and they're like, "There's a barrel coming." For
Again, the CG in this movie was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah, mostly bad. Some of the environmental CG stuff, like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think all of like the environment shots were like, I didn't see one that was like particularly bad.
No, like-
I think it's just when characters are CGI that like even Abu
Abu sucks, dude.
very distracting in this. Very distracting.
My last point: the shot of Aladdin being pushed out of the window in the chair. Fucking dope. That's all I wrote.
Yeah, it was great.
As was the whole. I thought the whole new world was cool.
Yeah.
Just the places when I thought it was cool. I wasn't paying attention to all the
Yeah.
stuff you guys were, but the whole like following him out the window into the bottom of the ocean I thought that was cool.
Very Guy Ritchie shot, especially like knowing Sherlock Holmes he directed also. It's like that's where the slow motion worked. Like
Yes,
where they
exactly.
were because it emphasized effect, but slowing it down for one verse in a song and the thing, I was like, what is happening, man? But yeah, the underwater thing was cool. The shot.
Oh, before we move on, how fucking awesome is that Scandinavian prince?
Oh yeah,
Dude, he's awesome.
Oh yeah, that guy
He's
was
so
accent,
funny.
everything
That guy
was
was
So fucking
Yeah.
funny. And I watched a deleted scene with him where he like gifts her this cannon, and it's so fucking good, dude. It reminds me of the German guys from Beer Fest.
Yes,
because
yes.
they're the best part of that movie. And that guy, when he fucking talks, it's so good.
He's like, "Oh, I know what that is. A little kitty cat with stripes."
It's so good. I think that's when I turned my opinion to like, okay, the writing, like this writing might be okay.
Yeah.
Like I think that guy really set my tone for the rest of the movie. It kind of turned my opinion from that shitty opening. It's like, oh, okay, this might be a little bit funny. It might be a little bit clever. And yeah, so that before we get into anything, like that guy fucking rocks.
There's a period of the movie where they were like trying to be different from the original, and I feel like after Aladdin tries to impress her. I feel like after that, it's a completely different movie.
Yeah.
It was not as try hard.
Yeah, correct.
And I think that's when I started enjoying it.
Yes.
After Prince Ali's first interaction with Jasmine, I was in the movie.
That dance scene sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The backflip
too much.
It's so stupid.
backflip was
that
too much.
dance scene.
Yeah.
Yes, that dance scene was awful. I mean, so yeah. Tommy, go ahead. Give me your.
Crack it open.
I don't know if this is going to be as cool as I think it is.
I can hear it.
Fuck that fucking cave. That's all I have to say about.
Why?
Okay,
why,
no,
why fuck the cave? Why?
The
Fuck
cave was not.
Yeah, it was kind of weak sauce.
was weak.
Well, first of
It
all,
was weak.
It was
first of
weak.
all, the cave was a lion, which it's not a lion. It's a tiger's head. I thought
in the animated film.
Yeah, in the animated film, it's a tiger's head, but it looks like a lion's head in the mountain. Like it even has like a mane. And the fact that you can just go to that cave, the whole point of the Cave
Yes.
of Wonders is that it pops up out of the sand.
I was pissed that they didn't use the scarabs.
could just
again, 'cause
walk-
The scarab was cool.
You could just walk up to the fucking cave. Anybody can just try to get into this cave. I know that you need a diamond in the rough, but it's like it just is there all the time. And yeah, it closes and opens.
It definitely wasn't as imposing. It wasn't the
No. And
Yeah.
I wondered why there must be a reason why they didn't use the beetle, like the thing, like the clip together for the eyes.
It makes no sense. Why?
There must be a reason because that is iconic.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that shot, the shot of him holding the pieces and then like the thing fluttering away or whatever. That's
Yeah.
an iconic shot
Well,
from
you
the
know,
original movie.
it's funny you say that because rewatching the original, I was surprised by how little screen time the scarabs get. Because that's one of the things I remember the most
Yeah.
from that movie is how cool those scarab eyes were. And I thought that I just remembered they're on screen for less than a minute probably. So
Yeah, they're just used as that visual for the cave, and
Yeah,
then
it's
they're
awesome.
like they're kind of like a little MacGuffin that he gets at the beginning that he's
Yeah.
able to find, which is
Right.
cool. It feels like the opening to '92's Aladdin feels like almost like an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
And the opening to this Aladdin feels like a sitcom, like a
Yeah.
made-for-TV.
Yeah, you're right.
man.
Sort of like dumbed down. It's like when they do Grease live. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, keep going.
Yeah, so the cave. I'm gonna try to get through this real quick because I feel like we're gonna probably spitball some things, but I looked up a list to try to get my thoughts in order here. So my biggest pet peeve was the changes. Aladdin and Jasmine meeting is different. Fucking hated it. Jasmine with her new story arc and her new handmaiden. I like that. The new song, dope.
Yeah.
You like the new song.
I love the
Yeah.
new song.
How Will Smith or Will Smith's Genie? Not for me. Don't like it one bit. Jafar fucking sucks.
Tommy's reading his notes off like slam poetry.
Yeah.
New Genie, not for me.
Yeah.
Boom, roasted.
The fact, how do you say the parrot's name?
Iago.
Iago. Is how he's like a real parrot. Hated it. I mean, I know you can't find.
Iago.
I know you can't find someone as iconic as the original voice, but come on, man. He was a big part of the movie, and
The
you're
voice-
just gonna make him like a real parrot in this one.
The voice of Iago in the 2019 Aladdin is Alan Tudyk.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I love Aladdin.
It's like his 9th or
love
10th
it.
Disney film showing up randomly in the
Nice.
last few years of being just like a side voice character that doesn't really get much screen presence.
I don't know. That's pretty much it, man.
You sound really down on this movie.
Well, dude, it bummed me out. So another one of the parts I wanted to bring up in my spiel is the part where Will Smith he's talking about like, oh, maybe I won't use my last wish on you after all, and he's like, you're breaking my heart.
Yeah, that sucked.
And I was like, that wasn't convincing at all, Will Smith. Where was the Fresh Prince? Why doesn't he want me? That part, that's iconic.
How come he don't want me,
Why
man?
come you don't want me, man? I know you have more emotion than that in you, Will Smith. I know you do.
Yeah.
You're breaking my heart. Goes back into the thing. I was like, what the hell was that?
Well, that's the main problem with the Genie.
I heard. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
When he goes back into the lamp, I heard like the slide,
slide
whistle.
whistle, Yeah. Well, that's the main problem with this movie, I think, is that the Genie Aladdin dynamic there's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's like college buddies that don't keep in contact after, as soon as they graduate, they don't talk to each other.
Right,
It's
right.
like frat buddies. You know what I mean? That's what they are this entire movie. Whereas in the original movie, they built up this friendship
man,
to
they were
be
bros.
incredible. Yeah, they were like tight as fuck.
Yeah, dude. The scene in the 92 one where they're on the island in the middle of the desert and he like they shake his hand. He's like, well, I really hope. He's like, I'll set you free. I'll use my third wish. And the genie's like, well, here's hoping. And they shake. And then there's this scene too where he's like, oh, I'm getting kind of fond of you, kid. And then he's like, I'm not ready to pick out curtains or anything like that. As they're flying back into Agrabah. It's just like that Kevin hit it right on the nail, right on the head. Is that the dynamic between Aladdin and Genie in the 92 one is just so endearing, and in this one it falls flat, completely vapid. There's nothing there. There's no charisma between the two of them, and they don't play off each other at all.
And the fact they're going to make a second movie based off this apparently is Genie and him going to have another
I'll pull that article up while you're finishing your, because I have that article up. It's not exactly what you think.
Okay. Also, I feel like I'm going to need help pronouncing her name again. Nasim Padrid.
As far as I know, it's Nasim Padrid.
I think personally that she looks more like Jasmine than the actor they picked for Jasmine. She has like the stronger nose and the jawline. She would have made like if she was Jasmine, I probably would have liked it more.
Interesting.
That's my opinion.
She's a great comedic actress.
Yeah,
I think
she is funny. Yeah.
I think they went with the Jasmine. What was her name? Naomi Scott. I think they went with her for her vocal chops because she can fucking sing, dude.
Probably.
And she's gorgeous. She's an absolute smoke show, dude.
Yeah, she is very, very gorgeous. Absolutely.
But I think you're right. She probably does have more of like a Middle Eastern, like mid-Asian kind of look to her. Because Naomi Scott is, very British.
Yeah.
But I think it worked. I think it worked just fine. For me, the women in this movie are what sold it to me.
Yeah.
So
she was my favorite part.
Yeah, those two interacting together were so funny.
I love that actress. She's in New Girl, and she's Winston's like love interest in New Girl, and I love her on that, and I loved her in this. So this is the parts that I did like. I don't want to be like a total negative Nancy, but like the part where
I feel real bad right now.
the parts where Will Smith comes and like asks her for a stroll, and she's like, "Hold on, real quick," and she closes the door, and she's like,
"So cute, it's so cute."
I was like, I love this part, but anytime she was on screen, I loved her.
So the rumors of the Aladdin sequel is that Disney has officially ordered it to like start pitching ideas, but they don't know what exactly the story is. But there was a rumor circulating right around the time of Aladdin 2019's release that it was they were going to focus on doing a Genie prequel. So like a story about how the Genie became Genie, I guess. I don't know.
Yikes.
Big yikes on that one. I'm going to go.
He wanted to be the most powerful man in the world.
Yeah, it's just Jafar's story, just over again. Yeah,
it's the Jafar storyline, but you root for the good guy instead of...
Right.
Yeah. My thoughts on the movie succinctly, as succinctly as I can. This movie suffers from one of my least favorite... I didn't hate the movie. I'll say that right out the gate. I found quite many scenes enjoyable. I really enjoyed Prince Ali. I think that's the standout moment for me. That was the moment during the movie where that's the halfway point for me, where the first half of the movie I was like, this is awkward. This isn't working. I don't like any of this. This is boring. And then the Prince Ali music bit comes in and they're using all these dancers and it feels like this big, big moment. And that was like when the fireworks go off at the end. Carly and I, my girlfriend and I, we turned to each other and we were like, all right, that wasn't bad. We were like, that was okay. Like we'll give that. And then from there, I feel like it got better.
Yeah, I do like when they're like, we're waiting on you, and he's like,
and he does a little tap,
and then
they do quarter time
breakdown. It's like, dude, yeah.
I fucking hated that part. That's the only part of that scene I hated, where he's like, we're waiting on you.
I thought it was funny because that was the best use of Will Smith's Genie, which is like he's like a hype man.
Yeah, sure,
absolutely.
And I thought that worked for the character, not like
everything else about that scene I loved, but that just kind of was like, that sucks.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it worked for me most of the way through. But this movie suffers from one of my least favorite things about movies that I think I would classify as not good or bad movies. Not to say that this movie is all bad or rotten. It's a movie with some pretty high highs, but overwhelmingly more lows than highs. So it's like but it jumps back and forth between them far too frequently. And for every cool scene that I was like, this is really enjoyable and I'm digging this, right after it they would throw me a fastball and be like, how about this? How about Will Smith like doing something goofy here? How about like the dress? I didn't like the dressing scene, like where they're like doing the measurements and stuff. I thought it was far too. It didn't work at all. Like considering how
what it felt. It felt like blaxploitation. It's like, oh, Will Smith is this black guy from the '90s. Let's exploit that as much as possible.
Let's put him in fresh. Let's put him in the Fresh Prince colors because why not? And like it was just so back and forth. There were so many moments I loved, so many moments I didn't love, and I just thought, in the end, it summed up to be just a movie that I thought was ultimately unnecessary, but not miserable.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I liked the movie, but it's not even close to one of my favorite movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
like I didn't hate watching it. I fully expected to be
I didn't
fucking spiteful after I watched it, and it was, to me, there was some enjoyable parts. Like, I'm just looking at my notes again because I took a lot of notes during the second one. I didn't take as many during the first one because I know what that movie is.
Right.
I'm looking at it like the first Jafar scene is awful because he just comes off as like a fucking crybaby.
Yeah,
but then I like him more as he goes on. I like the way I like the way all the actors look. I think I like that they picked actors that should be in that setting. The Sultan looks awesome. Jafar looks like he should be there. Again, his acting wasn't great, but the look of Jafar sold that character.
You
more
thought
than
he
anything.
looked like him?
No, he didn't look anything like the original Jafar, but he looked like somebody that would be a Jafar if this happened in real life.
Right, yeah.
The weird fake storyline about like her mother's country, nobody gives a fuck. That went nowhere.
Oh yeah.
So, but I could ignore that.
There's like a war plot happening in the
It's
background.
so stupid. It doesn't need to be there.
At one point, I was like, "Are they invading? Are we at war? What's happening?"
That was
What is
Jafar's
happening?
motivation, is he wanted to just be a dickhead and invade other countries, which is stupid. But
I liked on your point of Jafar, I'll touch in real quick. I liked the look of him.
Yes.
I just wished he was more imposing.
yeah, he wasn't very sinister.
Like Jafar sounds patient, Iago, like that. But this Jafar's like, "Bring me the lamp."
His voice stinks.
Like, Aladdin, first the lamp. How about my foot? And he puts his foot down on the guy. I was like, oh man.
And he's not even dressed up like an old man, like with the.
Oh yeah. I love that scene in the original
Me
too.
I feel like it would have come across cheesy.
It would have looked cheesy.
And I think they tried to like throw it in there where he like swoops by in that.
I kinda like that
alley
scene, to be honest.
and grabs the thing. So he's like, he has his hood up in that. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, thanks for putting that in there, but you already pissed me off from not doing it a while ago.
I also put that the original song, the Speechless song, is decidedly very Western, which is very jarring. I didn't like the first
like it at
instance of it, but the end, the second instance where that shows up is really well done, I thought. Where it was like her inner monologue as she's being taken away. And then at the climax of it, she is able to turn around and like say, like, I'm not going to let this stand. And that scene where like you could see like her dad was crying and she was crying. And that mini documentary I watched, like they recorded her singing that one shot. The audio from that scene is her actually singing that.
Oh shit!
Which is really fucking cool.
That's
because
why you're like,
when she got that rasp,
yeah,
like because that's not in the original recording of that song. It was her actually belting out the emotion of the one shot.
Wow.
Which is really effective to me when she first started singing, I was like, this is stupid. Why would these guards react this way to her just fucking singing? But then you realize it's her inner monologue.
Right.
And it's really fucking effective. I would love that scene. And like the emotion that the Sultan shows while she's like, when she's like yelling at the guard, like,
oh yeah.
honor,
yeah.
like duty isn't always honor. And it's
Right.
just, there's so many cool things in that scene. It's like that sold Jasmine as like a really cool, powerful feminine figure in this movie. And like I love that song too. Just even though it's super Western and it doesn't really fit with the theme of the movie, but the way it's musically, it's beautiful.
Sure. Had I heard the song without seeing it in the movie, I'm sure I would have been like, "Oh, that's a nice song from Frozen 2." But the thing is that like I don't have a problem with the song, and I don't have a problem with the performance, and it didn't offend me. Again, nothing in this movie was offensive, but it was like as it was happening, I'm just like, why do they feel the need to create? Because they did the same thing with Beauty and the Beast. They added 2 new songs that were completely new and written for the remake. But it's like you're already going balls deep on remaking every little aspect of this movie be from what we remember, like all these callbacks, the drawings of the original Aladdin, all the colors being the same, the outfits being similar. Even Genie is blue. The whole, like for most of the time, it's like why feel the need to add something completely new? It stands out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Didn't jive.
The execution of the first is just so jarring. It's like
Comes out of nowhere.
It comes out of fucking nowhere.
Nowhere.
It's like we've been building up this really great, like again, Middle Eastern, like kind of Indian, like theme and like set design and actors looking like they should, and then all of a sudden it's like a song from fucking insert pop artist here. So it just was really strange. But I do like the song. Just objectively, I think it's a good Disney. It sounds like a Disney princess song. So
sure. What did you guys think about the changing of the rules of how wishes work?
I fucking hated it.
I hated it.
Yeah, hated it.
I hated it. I thought it was so dumb.
Because again,
wait, what do you mean?
Well, here. Let me explain it. Because one of the main things that builds up the relationship between Genie and Aladdin in the first one is Aladdin straight up finesses.
Oh yeah, that
Genie.
part was.
He's like, well, I don't know if you can get us out of here, and Genie's like, fuck you, I can get us out of here.
Right, I hated that part.
But in this one, they changed the rules to where you have to also be rubbing the lamp.
That's what you mean.
And so that's how they got around that. A lot of it's really fucking stupid.
You have
So
to be
dumb.
rubbing the lamp, looking at him, saying, "Genie, I wish." And so, like the way that he tricks him is he puts it behind his back.
And-
Why didn't they just
and he
keep
lets
it
a
like
boo
the
rub it.
original?
I was like, "This
It
is
doesn't make
so
any
dumb.
sense why they added it because it doesn't.
Changes nothing."
It changes nothing. It changes nothing. I was thinking maybe like it would affect Jafar's wish at the end.
Yeah,
I actually wrote it in my notes. Like, why the fuck would he use his first wish on that?
Yeah, exactly.
And then it was like, wait, never mind. It was a fake wish. None of it
Yeah.
made sense.
A
to
normal
me.
Genie would be like, "Fuck you, dude. You wish that shit."
right.
Yeah.
In my mind, while it was happening, I was like, "Oh, okay. So they're gonna write out the part where he's drowning and he gets him to shake his head. So that's his second wish." I was like, "They're getting the first wish out of the way so that his second wish will be Prince and his third wish will be freedom."
Yeah.
But then when they did that, I was like, "Why the
Yeah.
fuck did we just do this?"
The way that the wish in the water was executed was so stupid.
Dumb
Doesn't
as
make any
hell.
sense. Like, oh, okay, well, I can just have him sign this contract. That doesn't make any fucking
So
sense.
stupid. I just like that, you infer in the in 92, like Genie like moves him a little bit so his head nods and he's like, "Okay, cool, let's do it."
In the
that
original
counts.
one, he saves him.
In this one, it has to be a litigious document.
Yeah,
and
it's so bad.
I think that is like that symbolizes this movie to me.
Exactly.
Is that whole thing of like, why did this need to happen? Why did they feel the need to hammer down the fact that this was his second wish? It was just so weird to me.
He's been a genie for 10,000 years, and he doesn't realize when someone tries to
Put a
smooze him.
have his monkey rub the lamp.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, he did say his last owner was like 1,000 years ago, but still, he's an all-powerful, all-knowing genie. You should, yeah.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, I liked that little bit after they got out, before the dressing up scene where he's like explaining the rules, and he like popped that prince up, and like the prince was yelling from the background. I thought that was really
Who
funny.
was that?
I chuckled at that.
I just want to go home. It's really funny. Like,
chuckled at that.
Yeah, and there's also in that, like, again, that little mini like 20-minute documentary I watched, they had like deleted scenes where they talked about his old masters and like when he was explaining the monkey's paw aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's really funny. I wish they would have kept it in the film and cut out like some of the other bullshit that was in this film, because it was really funny. It kind of established Will Smith as like this sarcastic, like cooler genie, where like he's like, well, it really all depends on how you say it, you motherfucker. You better say it right.
Yeah.
I do not understand why this movie had to be a whole half hour long.
It didn't.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what
understand it. Like-
that's what I was going to bring up too. Like, why is it 2 hours long?
There's no one sequence that extends there's no one sequence. Everything happens exactly as it does in the, roughly in the same time frame, in the same clip, with the same amount of songs that it happens in the first one. Sans a couple little differences, but when it was over, I was like, how was there an extra 30 minutes in this movie?
Let me tell you, it was the 5 minutes on the beginning and end with the Will Smith on the boat, and then it was like the 10-minute dance scene. That was the bulk of it, because that fucking party scene is useless.
Goes on forever.
It's useless.
It does
And
go
that
on forever.
awkward first meet of
Yeah,
Ali.
true. That's new as well.
Yeah.
But that was also it was kind of in the original film where they're kind of like all discussing her, like, well, I whatever.
I've come here to win your daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, you think I'm a prize to be won? But then in this one, he just like tries to give her like diamonds and stuff.
Jams.
Jams. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So
So that genie he makes appear out of thin air is supposed to be the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's what that was supposed to be. I just looked it up because I was like, who was that? The voice sounded really familiar. And apparently it's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Interesting.
Well, ha 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 ha! Good job, Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, well, I mean that didn't. I mean, even without that, I still
Sure.
thought the scene was kind of
The
funny.
dialogue
It
is
is
funny,
funny.
so
Yeah.
it works.
It
It
is
wasn't
funny.
just a visual gag. So, got a couple fun facts for you just to toss this in here.
Oh, hold on, wait, before you get into this.
Sure.
This is just like a throwaway thing, but when like Dahlia was pretending, like when she was pretending to be the princess initially, She's like, I'm going to go wash my cat now. I was like, is she going to go wash her pussy? Is that what she's saying?
Oh, shit.
Like, she's talking about, I'm going to go douche right now. And they kept pushing it, too, because she's like, I forget, there was a couple
and
other
Aladdin's
lines.
like, or I forget who's in the room.
Isn't that supposed to be wet?
Doesn't cat? Oh, yeah.
And, like, it's so adult.
Don't cats watch themselves?
Yeah. It was like, I actually was like, oh, my God. She legit just said, I'm going to go wash my pussy for this date.
I mean, you got to throw in some adult humor. I mean, SpongeBob's full.
Yeah,
of
but
it
was poorly executed. I was like,
yeah, I mean,
this is fucking gross.
Of all the characters that they had to say that, though, it makes sense to use the comedic actress.
Yes,
so
right.
like it didn't come across as awkward. I was just like, oh, that's there.
I was like, oh, that's kind of gross.
I didn't catch that, so that's hilarious.
Yeah, I thought about that, and I just went like, this is visual audio representation, right? Me watching that scene, and she said that line, my head went, and then right back to where it was. Let me cock my head a little bit.
Let me pull up my actual note from it.
Okay. While you're pulling up your note, I'll read off one little thing of trivia. I'll sprinkle some in here. This is Will Smith's first Disney movie. Can you believe that?
I cannot, actually, because he's whack as fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
Also, a couple people in the running to play Genie. A few of them weren't disclosed. One of them, that this might shock you, Gabriel Iglesias was in the running to play the Genie at one point.
Dude, he might have been better.
No, that's Enrique Iglesias.
Gabriel Iglesias is the fat comedian.
Yeah, I'm fluffy guy.
Wait, what? That's who I thought it was too. I thought
no. Like Enrique might have makes way more sense than Gabriel Iglesias.
I thought I was on Dylan's.
I can take away your pain.
Wait, Gabriel's that like really big guy.
He's the fluffy guy.
Yeah,
He's still alive?
Yeah, he just did
he's
something
still
with
kicking.
First We Feast, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
Wow.
It was like, what a relevant choice. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm curious because if Gabriel Iglesias was one of the finalists, who else?
Who else indeed? Jim Carrey was the original choice to play the Genie. But at the time he was involved, a much publicized lawsuit was happening, so he couldn't commit to any long-term work.
Interesting.
I would have loved Jim Carrey in that.
I think in these situations where like a beloved character is played by someone who has passed, let's leave it alone, man. You know?
I tend to agree with that too, to an extent, because I feel that way with bands. Like if a lead singer dies, it's very rare that you can keep that same. Like AC/DC got really lucky; they found a guy that sounded exactly like their old singer.
Or Journey.
Yeah. It's very rare that you can keep that same magic because anybody can play. Like you obviously, guitarists and drummers have different styles, but you can play those. Any guitarist can play those same riffs.
Yeah.
But two vocalists very rarely sound the same, and that sound's always going to change. So. The fact that Robin Williams couldn't reprise this role, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I didn't think Will Smith was a terrible choice. I think he's a goofy. I think I've always disliked Will Smith for the longest time. Yeah. But I think his persona recently, in the last 5 years or so, where he's become just kind of a goofy dad, I think it kind of works.
Yeah,
you know
I'm sure the kids loved him.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like when we talk about Pokemon.
This is a kids movie.
When we talk about how much we hate the things in the new Pokemon game, it's like
this is a game for 10-year-olds, and we're 30 and 27-year-olds.
Exactly, and it's like, I mean, most of the people that I feel like go and see these movies are probably the ones that grew up on it, but they're probably taking their kids to go see it as well. I'm sure the kids loved Will Smith as Genie.
Yeah, I think that their approach was, obviously there's going to be controversy because Robin Williams was so beloved and he died tragically.
Right.
That I think it's a lot like Joker after Heath Ledger, where their boardroom meeting was their boardroom meeting went something like this. All right, how can we make money off of this character? Okay, let's go the farthest opposite direction that we can. Who is someone that is the opposite of Robin Williams, right? All right, well, Will Smith, he's a rapper, he's funny, he's a little bit more street. That could work, and then throw him on screen. I mean, the original choice was Jim Carrey, who came from that same was cut from that same
Jim
cloth,
Carrey would have been dope.
Yeah, they were in comedy at the same time.
Yeah, so it's like
Jim Carrey that fucking thick, like, because like for a minute I was like, did Will Smith get this jacked for that role? And I was like, no fucking
way.
But can you imagine Jim Carrey that jacked? That'd be fucking fucking wild.
Yeah, it would be Ace Ventura as the fucking genie, or like Fire Marshal Bill, and it would be weird. Like,
Yeah.
But Jim Carrey can do the voices.
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean, the same erratic.
And do those lines quick.
Yeah.
well, let's have this discussion. Who would be your ultimate genie?
This is a good one.
outside of Robin Williams.
I do like this.
It's for me, Jim
I
Carrey,
don't know.
without a doubt.
Sure.
I mean, Jim Carrey makes the when I read that trivia, I was like, okay, yeah, that works.
I got
mean,
one.
I can already see it in my head, and it's working fine. Like I can see it playing out.
But until I read about him going back and being old Jim Carrey in Sonic, I never would have thought like, oh, Jim Carrey would definitely.
Yeah, right.
He's been trying so hard to be so serious lately.
He's
that
so fucking weird. Like, I don't like it.
I wouldn't have imagined him trying to reprise old Jim Carrey. I feel like he's tried to bury that in the past. But I would have loved to hear what he had to do with Genie. Genie is like the Joker, where you can just like it's free form, do whatever you want, be as crazy as you want.
Yeah.
It's open for your interpretation.
But the thing is that's what the character is now, post this movie. Because lest we forget, at least in my social media stratosphere, the trailer for Aladdin was so controversial.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the Genie now is, do whatever you want and be crazy. But before that, the Genie was Robin Williams.
Yeah, for sure.
The Genie is that actor. And so that's the trouble that you get into with these sorts of films, where it's like, yeah, you could recast him or you could do something different with it. You could change the role. But then at that point, is it Genie? It's just a different character. It's a different Genie. So it's not, who would I want to be the actor to play Robin Williams' Genie? It's like,
That's why I
who
don't-
would fit in this story better than
And that's why I don't think I hate Will Smith as much as a lot of people
Yeah.
did, because he took it into his own direction, which is fine. It's like
It's different-
the iterations
it's
of the
different
Joker. It's like Cesar Romero is so much different from every other Joker. But
Yeah.
Tommy, who was your pick for your ultimate Joker?
Jake Johnson.
Sorry, Joker.
No shit.
Jake Johnson would have been a sick genie, dude.
Here's
I feel like you're just saying that because we also have another New Girl actor.
No,
In this
I
film.
really, I feel like he did such a good job at Into the Spider-Verse. I feel like he could have been like a laid back, kind of weird, a whole different
Honestly,
kind of genie.
you saying that pitch, if I'm
Yeah.
I'm the writer for this movie, or
Yeah.
I'm like the producer,
Yeah.
and you're like, we're gonna pitch Genie as not as
Not so crazy.
eccentric and
Yeah.
be a little bit more
aloof?
like a chill, like chill
he's
Genie.
been chilling around for
Yeah.
a few years. He's
Jay
like,
Chillin' Genie.
Jake
I can see
Johnson
Jake
Genie.
Johnson, like Peter B. Parker, but
yeah,
he's a
dude,
Genie.
fuck yeah.
I'm in on that. That's a great idea, actually. Like if they're gonna do, if in 20 years when they reboot this,
Yeah,
we'll get in touch with them.
yeah, dude.
my initial thought was to use like a really prolific voice actor, like a Tom Kenny or like a John DiMaggio, which I think John DiMaggio would have been so funny because he's like this big goofy. He would have been funny in mocap. And it would have been like, just imagine Bender as the Genie. That's so funny
Oh,
to me.
dude,
or Jake
that'd have
the
been
dog.
good.
Like
Yeah.
that would have been fucking hilarious.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing: is that you're never going to make everyone happy with a film,
Sure.
and controversy is something that Disney doesn't do. But they want to steer as far away from controversy as possible. But in my kind of honest opinion, I think that Robin Williams made that movie. That movie is not Aladdin 92 is not Aladdin 92 without Robin Williams as the Genie. That is that's the heart of that film. And so, as disrespectful as some people may think it might be, I'm totally fine. I would have been totally fine if they had just made Genie spent like a Thanos level CG character, like a really great looking, realistic time put into this, clearly a visual spectacle character, and then have a voice actor just do the part, play the part. Like, I don't think
That'd
there's
be cool.
anything necessarily disrespectful about that. If you come at it with the angle, it's like, we understand that this was a prominent actor and it was a tragedy, but this is a way to also continue that legacy. Is that like that Genie is now etched in your minds? It's not something we need to go off and change.
Well, it's funny you say that because that weird in between that they did, where they used just Will Smith as like an on-screen actor, and then they did the mocap for him, which is really weird. But I think when they came out of the cave and they just switched it back to just Will Smith, because my initial thought was like they didn't need to make him blue, just let him be a black guy. It's not a big deal. He doesn't need to be blue. But so then he spends most of the movie as just Will Smith.
Yeah,
which I think also kind of made me realize it's not as bad as it could have been. I think that's why I came out of the movie feeling like I did, because I was like, this could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a disaster.
It could have been a lot worse. And so, like, me saying I actually kind of liked it, I think that's more accurate. Is like, it could have been a lot worse. I didn't hate watching it.
Right.
So.
Sir Patrick Stewart campaigned for the role of Jafar in the 2019 Aladdin. He had previously turned down the role in the Aladdin 1992 movie and has regretted it ever since.
Dude, I have such a crush on Patrick Stewart, man. He's awesome. Yeah. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. So him as Jafar would be great.
Yeah. Also, something funny I forgot to mention over here. This is shout out to my girlfriend Carly. While I was reading off the trivia for the movie that I had prepared for the show, I read her the quote about the actor that was going to be the original choice for Genie, but was involved in a lawsuit at the time. It was Jim Carrey. Mm-hmm. But I was like, who would you guess it was? And she looked at me. She went, Bill Cosby, and I just laughed. I lost my mind. Tom Hardy was rumored for the role of Jafar, but this caused another outcry and an ongoing debate among viewers about Hollywood's perceived whitewashing practices, which had peaked with the casting of Scarlett Johansson in Ghost in the Shell in 2017. Hardy was reportedly director Guy Ritchie's preferred choice, but later stated there was not truth to the rumors that he would play the role. Marwan Kenzari was later cast as
That'd have
the
been
real
weird.
Jafar.
Tom
yeah, would have felt a little out.
Well, that's why I really liked this adaptation so much, is because they didn't whitewash it.
Yeah.
I think there, in this day and age, there are actors that look like they should and are from geographically correct places that are good enough to do these roles. And again, he's not the best actor in the world, but he looks so much like the original Aladdin. He's very charismatic looking. Mm-hmm. So for me, like, his acting being a little bit subpar was fine. Again, he should have had a better singing voice.
Was that his first role in like a Hollywood movie?
I'm sure
probably?
He's done other stuff, but it's the first time I've seen him personally.
Yeah, same here. Can we talk about the music?
Sure.
For a sec?
We can talk about the music.
The songs in the Aladdin. Arabian Nights.
Great.
One Jump Ahead reprise. Friend Like Me, Prince Ali, A Whole New World, and the Prince Ali reprise by Jafar at the very end. And then the 2019 Aladdin added Speechless. Quick, from the top of your head, as best as you can, rank the songs. Or if you don't want to rank all of them, that's fine, but at least give me your top three, like top in order, starting with number...
From the new one?
From all of it. So, like, consider all of the songs together. Like, what are your top three? Anybody got anything right?
I can go, sure.
Yeah.
It's Whole New World, Prince Ali, One Jump, the reprise. I love the Jafar reprise. It's so cool.
But not as you know him.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not sung very well, but it's really cool.
Well, I like it because it's the bad guy song. Like you get a bad guy song. Scar gets a song.
It's the ultimate.
Jafar
Like,
gets a
it's
song.
the ultimate. Fuck you. Like, look at this guy. He's not who you thought he was. You guys are all fucking stupid.
Cool.
But then it would be probably Speechless, and then the other reprises.
Sure.
I do really legitimately like Speechless. Like, I would listen to that just in general. I think it's a good song. I think Naomi Cook does a really good job performing it. So, but yeah, I mean, A Whole New World is one of my favorite songs, and it might be my favorite Disney song of all time.
It's a good one.
It's beautiful, man. It's absolutely beautiful.
Bless you, Jesus.
A Whole New World was kind of ruined for me in this.
Yeah, it's not as good.
I didn't like it at all.
The dude trying to like keep up with her, it was like
it's such a stark difference,
man.
And like even in the original, like the singer, like the vocalist that did Jasmine's parts is very much a better vocalist than the guy that did Aladdin's part. But in here, it's such a stark difference. It's like, me singing with a professional, like a professional vocalist, and like. I know where a note should be, but it doesn't mean I'm a good vocalist. You know what I mean? It's just
I don't think he even knew where it was.
He might not. He was
just high off his balls. He's like, I'm gonna match a carpet ride.
His quaaludes are dope.
Yeah, bro. Whole New World.
I love One Jump Ahead. Is that what it's called?
One Jump Ahead's great. Well,
I love the old one. The new one.
The new one's terrible. It's fucking awful.
It started off the movie on such a bad taste.
Yeah,
like
bad.
it left the beginning of the movie was immediately just like sand in my mouth.
I wonder
like,
if they
this is
would
not
have
good.
executed the beginning of the movie better if it wouldn't have gotten a 57%.
No, I agree. I think so.
Rotten
I think a lot of people, because to me, I tried to come into at this as neutral as possible, and even like, again, I wrote in my notes, this looks like a fucking YouTuber did this. Like I was so not into it for the first 20 minutes.
And say we weren't doing this show and we were just watching this at our leisure. If I didn't care about finishing the new one all the way out, I would have gotten 15 minutes in before I was like, you know what, this isn't worth my time. So it's like, I do think that I don't regret, I'm happy that I watched the whole thing through because I do think that the end, there's some good stuff in the end.
That end is awesome.
Yeah, but I have one problem with the end. But the average consumer going to Disney Plus being like, oh, the Aladdin remake, I'll give it a shot. And they go, whoa, in the first 10, 15 minutes, they're like, this is asshole. I got to turn this off right
like
now.
I did.
Yeah, you wake up from a nap. My one big problem with the end, real quick, is I didn't like that it took place all in that one tiny room.
Yeah, it does kind of suck.
Like the end of the the end of the 1992 Aladdin is so cool because it's
on a grand scale,
giant.
yeah.
He gets knocked in, and it's big, it's bombastic, it looks cool. It's
back to the Jafar reprise where he ends it with that whee! As he takes the golf shot on, and he sends the fucking tower into Siberia. It's awesome. Yeah. To clarify what I meant by the end as well, it's from the inner monologue of Speechless to like when Aladdin and the genie start getting like cheek and start like winking back at each other like a fucking 1,000 times. That sucks. He's like, yeah, you know what you're doing. Yeah, listen to what I'm saying. It fucking sucks.
Did you guys appreciate or not appreciate the fact that he didn't turn full snake? Because I wanted him to
go full snake.
Me too.
Always go full snake.
Why? Why not?
Because I think what they were really trying to do was make this feel like it could have actually happened.
Realistic, grounded.
And I appreciated that approach to it.
Yeah.
That's why I think the hypnotism didn't work, because it's like, this shouldn't work in real life. Why would somebody staring into a staff and like weird mirror effects happening work on somebody?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dill. You got real stern.
A real life genie. But,
true.
But his staff doesn't work.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's like there's that whole. I didn't like the Friend Like Me sequence in the new one at all.
It's
I thought
fine.
it was lame as balls.
It's dumb, but again, it's a kids movie, so it appealed to kids.
Yeah, it was just weird, and I didn't like the visual look of it. I didn't think it was creative enough.
Sure,
like it used CGI in a cool way, but like the Robin Williams one has like set changes, and it all looks very musical like.
Well, here's what I hated about that scene specifically is one of my favorite moments in that song is when they go to like the trombone part. It's like wah, wah, oh no, it just didn't hit the same, you know, because Robin Williams just really fucking killed that fucking song. And he's like, oh yes, and it's just so good.
Well, yeah, because there's the line in the original where he's like, "Can your friend do this? Can your friend do that?" And then. And in this one, it's like in the original, he's like, and he changes his head and he flies around and it's crazy. And then in this one, he's like, "Can your friend do this?" And he goes, and I was sitting there, I was like, "Are you fucking with me right now?"
Yeah, probably one of my friends probably could do that. Yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, my friends can do that, asshole." I was like, this is just so lame in so many parts that it really bummed me out.
Also, in that part, Aladdin is like terrified looking.
Yeah.
And like in the original, he's like vibing with them, dude. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like Aladdin was almost fearless in the first one. Like nothing really fazed him. But like in this one, he's like
something kind of interesting. I thought as a little trivia piece that I got here. In the preview screenings for the 1992 Aladdin, audiences did not applaud after the big song numbers. The animators wanted applause, and so somebody stuck the genie with an applause sign at the end.
That's really funny.
The joke worked, and it was kept for the movie.
That's awesome.
I love the applause is the best.
Yeah, it's just
Bam,
bam.
bam.
Yeah, it's
It's
great.
like
It's so
they're
good.
waiting for
The comedic timing
And
is so good.
And the rug is like,
Yeah.
like he's clapping along. That's the yeah. I mean, like we could talk about these. I liked I think this was a fun talk because I enjoyed hearing you guys' opinions. But the real thing that I've discovered about these two movies, and a lot of why the classic Renaissance Disney movies appeal to me, is they are so charming and endearing. Mm-hmm. When I was watching the animated Aladdin, I just found myself smiling and feeling warm inside, and the new one just left me feeling conflicted. And I think that's just not what I wanted really.
Yep.
Songs though, I'm going Friend Like Me number 1 in the originals, obviously. Friend Like Me number 1, One Jump number 2, Prince Ali number 3, and A Whole New World at number 4, and then the reprises, and then Speechless. If I had to put it on there, but I just didn't feel a connection.
I have a real quick anecdote about One Jump. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to say maybe if I'm going to listen to Speechless again without the idea of the movie.
Let me send you that link of her doing the studio recording. I think it's much better that way.
Yeah.
So there's another podcast I listen to with a couple of like old College Humor people. They do like a D&D podcast, and they have like supplemental episodes. And the girl on the episode in the podcast, Emily Axford, they were talking about. They got on a tangent one day, and they were talking about like sexual awakenings. And she said her specific sexual awakening was in the original Aladdin when he does "Just a little snack, guys," and it's like she said it like gave her like quivers in her bones as like a little girl, like her.
I think he's rather tasty.
But yeah, the "just a little snack, guys" like got her going, and I just always think I can't watch that scene without thinking of like a 10-year-old girl having a sexual awakening.
Even Carly, when that scene came up, she was like, "I'm surprised they left this in the movie because it's like that. Oh, is that Aladdin to the bottom?" And it's like all the club girls inside the place, like with skimpy outfits.
Well,
on.
they're clearly like prostitutes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's why they're not interested.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, music choices there, Dill.
Sorry.
So I guess I kind of feel bad because I feel like we've been attacking Kevin.
No, it's fine.
He has such like a positive outlook
I think we've
on
all
it.
had we've had positive things to say about the movie. Not all of us have been overwhelmingly negative.
But at the same time, they had to expect this with like the live animations.
Sure.
Like there's going to be a direct like compare and contrast. There's going to be a Venn diagram after every live movie they make.
Yeah, it's a remake.
So I think for us to like have such strong feelings about the original I think that's what they're going for. It's like you have to see it whether you hate it or you love it. It's gonna make $1.5 billion.
$1.5 billion.
And that's crazy to me.
It's
like
crazy.
If this live movie came out on its own now, I think we would still enjoy it. With the music and everything, I think I would watch it with my nephew
without context of the first one you made.
Yes,
yeah.
I think we would love the Genie, but having a comparison kind of hinders that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Overall,
it's hard to say.
Tell me, what are your songs?
Oh yeah, did you do the songs?
I didn't do the songs. I think my list is pretty much like Zach's, but I think my number one song is "One Jump." I just love that song so much.
Yeah.
It's such a great.
It's a good romp.
Street.
Yeah.
Well, here again, talking about the music and like that Renaissance Disney movies, it was similar to our Nintendo music conversation you and I were having earlier today, Zach.
Right.
It operates in this very bouncy, light, fun aesthetic, and it's just so specific to Disney.
Yeah.
And again, you know what that movie looks like just by listening. You know what One Jump looks like. You know what that scene looks like by listening to it.
Like with the tempo changes and everything.
Yeah. And again, with Prince Ali, that boom, ba-da, boom. You can see those elephants just marching in. And again, when that scene, here's another thing I hated about the new movie because one of my favorite parts of Prince Ali is when Elephant Abu kicks the door in, and it's a Prince Ali, fabulous Ali Bob, and then it picks back up, and it's so fucking
it's
good.
Hype as hell, dog.
It's so good, and they didn't have that moment in this because that's the part I said I didn't like, where he's like, "We're waiting on you." It's like, no. Abu should be kicking down this fucking door, and it should be hype as fuck.
Yeah, they changed Abu into a giant elephant in this new one, and with all the updated CG, we didn't get any elephant kicking shit shenanigans. Yeah. Yeah. Get real, Disney. Get your elephant act in order. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, to my point, it's just that sounded so so pompous. Listen to me speak about what I want to say.
Out here.
Listen to me. But yeah, it operates in this aesthetic where you can close your eyes and you can see those scenes. Where you don't necessarily have to watch the movie. You never even seen the movie, and you could kind of visualize what those scenes would look like. And I think that's a really cool thing.
I think what's interesting is like how this just puts a staple to that how well Disney hit these first movies out of the park. Is that we have such a strong opinion on these remakes. It's like if the first movies weren't as amazing as it just gives it weight. Like it's easy to say these movies are amazing, but as soon as these remakes happen and we have such high opinions on the remakes, it just proves that the original movies were fucking amazing.
And these guys that worked on the original movie, it's like, we don't want to overly praise the past. We don't want to be looking through rose-tinted goggles. But the reason I wanted to do this also is why I made you guys watch both instead of just the new one.
Right.
Is because I wanted us to look back at it at the current age that we are with a pair of fresh eyes. Look for things that you can find that we can critique because... there are some things about the '92 Aladdin that don't hold up. Some visual stuff that doesn't look as I mean, there's just some stuff that doesn't hold up, obviously. But things age.
Yeah.
But just the sheer talent of these people that they were able to churn these movies out one after the other,
and then they made another awesome hit after that.
Right after,
what the fuck?
There's a really cool fun fact that I think is a fun one to end the fun fact section on. Is after months of work, the writers Musker and Clements delivered a draft of the script and a story reel to studio chief Jeffrey Katzenberg in April of 1991. Katzenberg did not feel like the script was engaging enough, and on a day referred to the staff as Black Friday, they demanded that they scrap everything and start over without rescheduling the release date. They turned the new script around in 8 days. So, these guys churned out Aladdin in 8 days.
Shut the fuck.
And
same thing happened with Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, I was thinking Empire Strikes Back was very similar, where it's like they're like, this fucking sucks, and they locked themselves in a room for
that makes
3
sense.
or 4 days, and it's like we need to make something that's actually good. And Empire's one of it's the best Star Wars movie in my opinion, and it's one of the best films I've ever seen. So.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone will relate with me about this, but I write way better papers if I procrastinate it.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Than if I write it and then add to it here and there. It's like I'll oh yeah, this is a good paper. I turn it in. I fuck, that wasn't good at all. But if I wait an hour before it's due, A+. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Zach, I don't know if you're going to ask this question or not, but which movie would you guys be super dreadful of it being remade?
This is a great question. No, I was not going to ask this question, but this is a great question.
You asked me that earlier, and I was like, oh, God.
I had a 2-part answer to this.
Okay. Are we specifically sticking with Disney films? Or just
I would say Disney, since they're in the act of...
We're on the theme of it.
Yeah.
So it's not Disney like Brave Little Toaster
yeah.
or Land Before Time.
Brave Little Toaster.
Which is, again, just touching on those real quick. That's another reason why I think this golden age of Disney is so impressive, because Don Bluth Studios was making some fucking bangers too. Mm-hmm. So, which was Don Bluth was an old Disney.
He left Disney and took a lot of people.
Yeah, man. Fern Gully.
Learned that from that documentary.
Yeah, Don Bluth is an interesting research topic if you guys want to really dig into the golden age of Disney. Look at Don Bluth Productions as well, because it's one of the reasons why I think Disney really stepped their shit up. But I lost my train of thought.
What's the movie that you don't want?
Oh, you guys go, because I have to think about this for a little bit.
I know. I got a 2-part answer. I'm ready for it.
Is it just animated? Is it animated? Or just
I would say any Disney
movie that
property.
You don't want to see remade.
Yeah.
Are you going first? You want me to go first?
I don't know. Well, I mean, my joke answer was going to be The Lion King.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Before they announced that they were doing the remake, I was like, The Lion King. The Lion King was up there for me with movies like The Breakfast Club and
Don't Touch It.
Don't Touch It. Leave it the fuck alone. But then they did it, and now everything's off the table because The Lion King also made over $1 billion.
I feel like that's where they're going to start going, is making The Breakfast Club and shit like that again.
Yeah,
I can't.
There's going to be 4 or 5 years in a row where we get a John Hughes remake every year.
Yep,
I guarantee
that'll happen.
Yeah, so that I'm dreading. I also I say this all the time, and disagree with me if you want to, but I think that they're going to remake Harry Potter in the next 10 to 15 years.
You think?
I think so, 100%. Yeah, I think they're going to remake it. I think they're going to make
can see that
more.
Yeah,
they're going to make it more modern. They're going to draw it out. They're going to. I can see them making
they've put so much money into those parks.
Yeah, 2 movies per book. Mm-hmm. Because the Fantastic Beasts movies aren't doing very well. They're not doing any money, and Warner Brothers is desperate at this point. Yeah, they're terrible. So that's another one I'm dreading for. But Disney movies specifically, I'll have to think. Do you have one off the top of your head?
I'm ready to answer.
Do it.
So before I answer the movie that I don't want them to remake, I am excited for the Mulan remake.
Yeah, that one
Mulan
looks
looks
good.
fucking awesome.
because it's a believable it's a believable live action movie, and it's a cool story, and I'm excited to see it in live action. So I am excited for Mulan, but if they ever fucking remake Up, I quit because, and they probably will, but I think that movie hits harder being animated. And like, can you imagine them remaking that? Like, I don't know, maybe it would be sad to see it with real old people, but like, I don't know, dude. Like,
I think
if they remade Up, that'd be fucked.
Well, I think what's going to happen is that as soon as, because there was talk about doing this originally, like after it was WALL-E, that was the last one that was like the original. The original storyboard that Pixar did, where they came up with all these ideas that eventually materialized into films. WALL-E was the last one that they had on the original sketchboard, and they were like, after this one, we've been thinking about Pixar directing live action stuff, and so like I think that eventually you're going to see once Pixar runs out of ideas or they stop making digital things, they're going to go all the way back to Toy Story and do Toy Story live action, or it'll
With
be like
real little action figures.
No. Dude, so Lion King, I know you're laughing.
Oh my god!
But Jon Favreau did The Lion King, and they were like, we want to make this look like a documentary. So what the Toy Story reboot's going to be is it's going to be real life video, but the toys are going to be like lifelike CG.
Do you guys
creations.
remember?
And Dylan's about to throw up.
That is a
Dylan's-
nightmare.
Dylan's facepalm is justified because do you remember the movie Small Soldiers? That's essentially what this would be.
Well, that movie slaps.
I kind of like it, but it's not a good movie objectively.
But it's a good. I don't know. I loved it when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
sure.
I had
When you
all
were
the-
a kid, you loved it, but it's not a good movie.
I'm going to be straight up with you. I'm looking up Disney films to get like a list of things that I wouldn't want them to remake. All the shit's been remade already.
I know,
Well,
dude.
because
So-
my thought was Dumbo. Like, well, how the fuck are you
They
going to do
already got
Dumbo?
that.
They
But
redid it.
here's what I think, because Snow White, how do you make that politically correct?
Snow White and the Huntress, they already did that.
Oh fuck! But they don't have the seven dwarves. That's the thing I was thinking of.
They're in it.
Are they really? What
Yeah.
the fuck?
The seven small people.
Yeah,
can't call them
seven
dwarves
people.
anymore.
They're in the Kristen,
Jesus Christ.
the Twilight girl. Who's that? Kristen Shaw.
Kristen
Stewart.
No, Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
She's in the Snow
Yeah,
White.
I know-
reboot.
I now
And,
remember
yeah, the
those.
dwarves are in it, and they look horrifying.
What the fuck, dude?
It's not good. Don't watch that movie.
I've
It's a bad
been
movie.
I've been blessed. My favorite Disney movie of all time has not been remade.
Hercules.
Hercules.
They're working on it.
Well, I mean,
They
they're-
cannot be.
Well, here, no,
They're not.
Hold on, Dylan, because
They're not.
dude. Listen, the Hercules is the one that would work the best. They've
No,
already
it
did
wouldn't.
the Kevin
No,
Sorbo.
No.
it wouldn't work the best.
It would because
Leave
it's,
it alone.
it's actual.
Mulan would work the best.
Mulan would work the best,
And
You're
it's
right.
gonna work the
It's
best.
gonna
And
work.
Pegasus is going to look like a real horse. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm just saying, like
getting
Hercules
me
has
worked
been a
up.
thing that's been a live action well before. It's a story.
I
like,
guess you're right.
Greek mythology has been live acted forever.
You're right.
But why? But don't make it a Disney movie. Do whatever you want. The
You
Rock.
want- do you want,
Dwayne
like-
Johnson did like a
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't
live action, but it was like
Okay.
pseudo live action.
Don't make it a Disney movie. A fucking rated R Hercules.
Yeah.
I'm in for
And
that
just
shit.
bang.
They already did it. It's with Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Oh, it is.
I want
They
him
already
with
did that shit,
I want him
bud.
banging bitches
Wait, is it
with
the
his Air
Scorpion?
Hercs on.
No. It's called The Legend of Hercules, and Dwayne Johnson plays Hercules.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
it's terrible.
Hercules
Oh,
has been
God.
done a million
Yeah,
times.
Hercules has been done, but not the musical. So there are rumors that they might do a Hercules movie, but nothing's been officially announced. But you would have to imagine they're working their way through the Renaissance. Lion King,
like Rescue Rangers, maybe.
The Rescuers Down Under as a
would
reboot.
would be bad.
So this is a question we have to ask ourselves and our listeners. Is this just them trying to make money? What is the real reason behind this? Why are they making these in the real?
You hit it on the
It's just
head
money.
earlier, Tommy. It's because the people that are our age,
Oh
well,
yeah.
a lot of people our age already have kids, one kid, if not multiple kids,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
they're hitting the nostalgia factor of us. Plus, they also have kids that they want to introduce to these things as well.
And you
So-
don't. And do you think kids only respond to live action stuff now? They don't.
No,
really
I don't
like
think that's
cartoons
necessarily
or-
true. But they couldn't just. I don't think it would work. I mean, it's
I think
interesting. for
kids
them.
respond to eye candy. It doesn't matter what
right.
the eye candy is.
Right,
It's just
right,
a
right,
different
right.
flavor bubblegum. I
Right.
think like Aladdin 2019 still has Goofy Monkey doing Goofy thing and Will Smith duplicating himself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Do you think these?
I don't know.
Do you think like if they just would have released Aladdin back into theaters the way it was, the
Dude,
way
How many
If they
Probably
didn't-
still would have made.
But
it
how
just
many
as much
times
money
was it
as-
brought out of the vault for DVD?
Right. Well, Disney's super protective of their vault.
The vault doesn't exist
Well, it doesn't exist anymore. But yeah.
But if 3-month reservation, Aladdin comes to IMAX, right?
I'd go.
Ticket sold.
Yeah.
Why not? Who cares?
Yeah.
I'll sit in an IMAX screen and watch a beautiful movie in this blown up screen.
Oh.
I think the more important, Tommy, question to ask that we should be that I think is the more important question, because it's fun to debate.
Yeah.
Is not why are they making it, but who are they making it for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
For
the
us.
money aspect is why. It's a business. But the who aspect is like,
Yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
I don't know sometimes. It's like,
It's the same.
I don't
It's
know.
the same answer, because we people in our age group are finally getting to a point where we have disposable income, and we love nostalgia more than any other
Yep.
because it's so accessible to us.
Yep.
We grew up in an internet age where a lot of our stuff is still accessible today, like easily. And so, like I did I show you guys on that article where they're bringing back the Tiger handhelds,
Yeah.
which are objectively horrible gaming systems.
terrible pieces of crap.
But for me, like I was like, this is gonna suck. But I also remember having like road trips. That's all we had,
Dude, I love
because I never had like a mobile game. Like I didn't have a handheld ever really until like the Game Boy Advance. So like Tiger Electronic games were like $15, and it was something parents could hand their kids. Like I had like the bowling one, and I've had another one too. But they're awful.
Wasn't there one where you had to like save people falling out of a building? It was like a paramedic one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I
sure there
don't know.
was. It was just anything you could possibly, because
Yeah.
it was something you could license, you could sell. It's just a cheap
Yeah.
piece of fucking molded plastic. But I was like, this might be cool to have on a shelf just for nostalgia.
True.
And that's what it is. It's like people that are like 27, they're in like maybe their second or third job. They've gotten a couple of promotions. They have disposable income. They have families. Those are the people that they're making this for. They're making it for literally us. So,
Interesting.
yeah, and then they know that we'll buy it because we love nostalgia. It's been proven.
Yeah.
If fucking Skip It came out right now, I'd buy a fucking Skip It.
Would you?
Yeah, dude. Kidding me? Like I want to bop it right now.
Bop it.
If
yeah.
I can't.
I think you can get a bop it.
Well, you can. I can't walk through a toy aisle and not want to buy every single thing in there.
True.
Well, I want to thank you guys very much for discussing this, and I thank you guys for doing the homework. You know, it's not. It's we're trying our best to be passionate and fun, and I think it was a lot of effort. I mean, it's an effort to put down 4 hours of your time in a week to watch some movies, and so I think it was a good discussion. I think we had a lot of fun and interesting things to say about it. If you guys out there have any outstanding opinions or anything you want to say about our commentary or anything, feel free to get in touch with us. We're at Dollar Beer Pod on Twitter, Dollar Beer Night on Insta, dollarbeernightshow@gmail.com if you want to send questions, comments, and concerns. And like I said before, dollarbeernight.com has all of our podcast stuff. If you haven't caught up on any of the episodes yet, please like us. If you like us, give us 5-star reviews. It really helps out in basically everything that we do. We are not sure how the schedule is going to shake out for the next couple weeks with Sonic and then with the inevitable next Kev episode. But regardless, Kevin, what is your topic?
So I flipped back and forth on this a couple times, but I ultimately settled on I want to talk about our memories specifically of like proto-internet, like early internet days, like Flash era, like not Web 2.0, after, like stuff that happened before the .com bubble burst, like our childhood memories of the internet, because the internet is such a vastly different place than it is now. It's essentially just Reddit and Twitter. That's all you need. It's not like if you really, I don't know what your guys, because we're all different ages here, so it's gonna be an interesting dive into our childhood memories of the internet, because it shaped our generation completely. We're the only generation that went from no information being readily available. Before internet, it was just Encyclopedia Britannica, and then we immediately went to having literally everything at our fingertips. So that's what I want to discuss coming up, and I can't wait. Like there's so many websites I just thinking about it remembered, and it's like it was such a different aesthetic and time, and it was interesting to think about just on my own. So I can't wait to hear your guys' memories and thoughts about it. So.
I think that'll be great.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Lots of nostalgia that we can bring to the table.
So even like before internet was even like,
I'm talking like ICQ, like early Yahoo chat room stuff.
okay. Like the first time I got my gateway computer.
Yeah, dude.
Shit.
Everybody had a fucking gateway.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that's the stuff like when you were getting like 500 free hours of AOL. In the mail, that
baby.
like 56K modem shit. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because it was so much different. Like I watched a couple of different like videos on it today, and like it was a strange and wild place.
Beam, 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 beam.
Well, thank you all for joining us. This has been a real fun episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin, where can people find you?
At KCarter79 on all social media platforms. At Sadboy Draws No Good on Drawception. Yeah, that's it. I'm not super active on social media. I'm more of a lurker than a doer, but I retweet some funny onion shit every now and again.
Tommy, where can people find you?
You can find me in the club. You can find me on Instagram at Average Torso. What's my name on Drawception? I don't remember. Average Torso.
I think it's just Average Torso. Yeah.
Pretty much, you type in Average Torso, you're gonna find me. Yeah.
Dylan, what about you, bud?
Queen City Pod. Holler at me.
Yeah.
I don't use my real social media right now, so
Cool.
keep hollering at me on there.
And I'm Zach Rotello, at Zach Rotello on every social media platform. Thank you all very much for listening, and thank you guys for being on the show with us. Good night.
One step ahead of the bread line.
One swing ahead of the sword.
That was good.
I steal only because I can't afford.
And that's everything.
That's everything.